into with no experience in television whatsoever, and made a tremendous number of mistakes for the first year. I mean, still make mistakes every year, but I think, but hopefully learning as we go and improving things. But we just didn't have any production experience, so we came in kind of knowing how we wanted to write it, but not knowing anything about the casting process, the editing process, working with visual effects, working with a production designer, all that stuff that you need to know, and it's been a steep learning curve.
They would get behind a project and they would give it a solid commitment.
We'd never produced anything for television before. We'd never produced anything for film or internet or anything. We'd written before, but we never produced. So when we went to George, it was probably like that bluff where you mistakenly think you have a straight and you actually don't. But we were so confident that I think we convinced George that, well, these guys seem like they really know what they're doing.
I said, I want it done. I want a faithful adaptation of the books. And they said, that's what we want to do.
Hello, everyone. Happy to have you all. This should be interesting, I guess. Hopefully we get through this particular chapter quickly. Anyway, allow me to bring in my guests. Welcome, Neph Champion.
I hate these dumbasses so much.
Yeah, it does. You're not the only one. This intro gives me PTSD every time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the feeling. It's like
it's especially worse for people who actually like the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Also welcome.
The current Wolf Lord of the Space Wolves is Logan Grimnar, also known as the Old Wolf. He rules from the Hall of the Great Wolf, together with his Wolf Lords such as Herald Deathwolf, Eagle Iron Wolf, and Bjorn Stormwolf.
All I got out of that was wolf, 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 and wolf.
The Space Wolves are incredibly uninspired.
The roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let that motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker, burn.
Yep. Are there wolves in that game? Suffering o'clock. Thank you. We are glad to be heroes.
Every time I think about the latter half of season 8, I keep thinking of the Titanic's final plunge, nearer to my god by the violins before the ship went down. Like that's how it feels like every time.
Yeah,
gentlemen, it has been an honor playing with you tonight.
Hopefully the bot comes up. Hopefully the bot comes up and tells everybody we're live.
Yeah, I noticed it didn't do that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, performance issues.
No. You said the trigger word, stop it. Like I got confused there for a second. You said these performances, like no.
Performance issues.
We're gonna clarify. What do you mean by performance issues?
Basically, just like the bot that I have programmed.
What is it not doing well in bed or something?
It didn't.
Oh no!
Based stream.
It wasn't give him those performances, these faces.
What an O face and.
Oh God!
You fell right for my trap.
No, I didn't fall for that trap.
It's a trap.
You set up the T and I knocked it out of the park.
Oh yes, this show, the best show in television. This ship is unsinkable.
Yeah.
I watched that first Trap chapter, and like they brought up the Titanic. Like, how ironic is that they're both built in the same place? Like,
Yeah.
more ironic than they ever realized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully the Discord bot tied to my YouTube channel will happen. Will come up in a little bit.
Well, for all we know, it probably isn't doing well in bed, so it's tired, sleeping right now.
In a lot of ways, it's like me. Yay.
Oh,
Oh hell, Lord.
what the hell, man! You did need to roast yourself.
Yeah. If people can share it around, get more people interested, that'd be great.
I already did that.
I've already pulled enough strings for you, Don. I gave you like 100 subscribers. Jesus. Jeez, you whore. Alright.
I need to get monetized. I need 100 subs to monetize. I've got
1,000 subs.
I need 1,000 subs to well, I need 832 subs in order to be monetized. So
as well as what was it? 10,000 watch hours.
4,500 watch hours. I've already passed it.
Oh, then good. Good.
All I need is sub count. That's it. But we will now commence with.
Damn it, Blairon, why are you always late?
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so, okay, this is interesting sentence. Lena Headey looks so ghastly, wanted to call for help. Her, shorn ragged hair, red room eyes, scat, pale skin, scabbed and smeared with what looked like pieces of blood.
Context?
No, there is no context. The chapter
what are we doing with here? Like first, so we can come back to where we were, because sometimes don't always remember where we were at.
Oh, this is just the beginning of the chapter.
Shame.
Yeah, we can say that to the showrunners. Shame.
Yeah,
Shame.
Yeah, this is just like, I watched that. I just pulled it up, no paraphrasing and all. It's just jumping right into it.
No, that was funny. They were using the cliff notes, and like she was. I still remember them. Like, oh my god, why did they do that? Well, such a useless fucking use of that.
Yeah, and they're kind of defined. It's just like pale skin scabs and smear with what looked like blood and pieces of. Hopefully it was only.
Oh my gosh! I remembered. I wanted to talk about it. I totally forgot about this. The fucking moon door. Like, I literally was picking up the trash when I was listening to that part. And like, oh yeah, that moon door where that guy almost actually died in real life. He fell through it. I guess he almost got himself hurt or something. The moon door scene.
Who know the moon door?
So, and
you know what I'm talking about? Or...
Okay. So
we all need a moon door in our lives.
Okay, so this is
what the hell is the moon door?
Basically, it's this trap door.
I'm looking up now.
People out that you throw people out of as an form of execution. And it's thousands of feet above the air. Thousands of feet above the ground.
They actually built that. Like, it actually mechanically functions, because why not? I guess they like to waste money on stuff like that.
It's a long way down.
Yeah. So, okay, so it's a funny anecdote. Yet Lena Headey was happily munching on pizza as Peter Dinklage and Connors Hill led a chorus of cast and crew singing "Happy Birthday" to her. So she was, October 14, 2014 in Dubrovnik, and she was having a birthday party unlike any other. A cheerful. It's not Old Town, you idiot. It's not Old Town. It's King's Landing.
Wait, hold on.
Is it Old Town in Dubrovnik? It's just.
Oh God! Why? Why? Oh my God!
What?
So wait, they're in King's Landing and they call it Old Town?
Oh yeah, that's right. They keep doing that for some fucking reason. Why? They...
Is it okay? Let me. Okay, one moment. Okay, like, and then
Old
like
Town Dubrovnik. Maybe that's what it's actually called.
maybe. Oh, is there? Let me see. Let me look up Old Town.
Yeah, Cersei filming scene in Old Town. Like, oh, wait a minute. If that's actually
Old Town. Okay, fair enough. I guess I was confused because there is an Old Town in the books, so it's not. He's not an idiot. Okay, so
Okay.
so he's not stupid. He's just doesn't clarify himself often or put footnotes.
What do you mean he's not stupid? He wrote this book.
He should have used a whole lot of footnotes.
Yeah.
Well, he took an L pill and therefore he forgot to do that.
He kind of forgot.
No. Though they screwed up King's Landing pretty bad. No, no, I think you were fine. I think, well, King's Landing has never been consistent. Yeah.
No, it literally turned into a fucking desert in the last season.
No, it has always been inconsistent throughout the
To Isengard. Wait, what?
Yeah. No, even before that. Yeah, it's really weird.
Actually,
yeah.
Am I going to clarify?
Yeah, well, it's just the problem with like King's Landing throughout the show is the fact that there is no consistency to what it looks like. Sometimes there's mountains around it. Sometimes it's flat forest. Sometimes it's flat grassy plains. Nothing makes sense in terms of the geography of King's Landing. It's almost like every scene is a different side.
It's like they leave the city, it's like a fucking jungle. Like, he just transported to Atlantis or some shit.
Yeah, it's strange. So basically, Lena Headey had to do the walk of shame, a long trudge through ancient streets with 500 bystanders screaming vile obscenities at her. Aside from being covered in crap a girl doesn't want for more, Headey quit. Oh my God.
This is like another example, like unnecessary crap. Like, they could have just green screened this, and they didn't need to empty a street.
I think it would have looked really, really bad if they had done that. Since it's hard to do.
What season was this?
5.
You tell me they didn't have that budget then?
Well, I just mean it's harder to do stuff in post. I think that it would have been much easier. We haven't gotten into any logistical problems with it quite yet, but the problem is if we don't let them off and say some things they had to do practically just to since not everybody in the production is stupid. It's mainly just Dan and Dave are the dumb ones. And there are people who were working behind the scenes to try and make this good. And if there were an easier option, I think more economical option, I think they would have done it on it. And I think with this one, I think they're fine on this one. That this works fine. I know that they were already having to use a body double since Lena Headey is tatted is really tatted. So, and
I don't know how much input the Dumb and Dumber have on this part. So I would never leave that up. Say that they could have done this
tastefully.
Yeah.
Especially since they really like Lena Headey.
Don't forget about 70 Live Horses from season 6.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
I remember that. Yeah, that was like the first thing they ever talked about, like at the beginning of chapter 1, if I remember right, or the prologue.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Like, why did you ever mention like one of the worst examples of Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah. So, the Walk of Shame is a really gripping sequence from Martin's A Dance with Dragons. Most often in modern times, it's used when in slang for a person walking home in the morning after sex still wearing clothes from the previous night out. Martin's usage, however, is what is it? Martin's use of the word is more from the punishment of Edward IV's mistress Jane Sore during the 15th century. After Edward's death, the king's brother took the throne and charged Sore with conspiracy, accusing her of sorcery and witchcraft, and so she was forced to do a penance walk through London, wearing only a thin white undergarment while the crowd, quote-unquote, shamed her. Lena Headey, George told me they used to do it in the Middle Ages. Well, they do it now. They take women out and stone them to death. Effing terrifying. I can't even imagine people wanting your blood. Cersei did was wrong, has done wrong, but I don't think anyone deserved the punishment. George R. R. Martin, it was a punishment directed at women to break their pride, and Cersei is defined by her pride. In the show, it's not just a lady thing, which is interesting. In the book, it's only a lady thing, but in the show, they do it to a dude as well. So,
Well, I know why they did that. They can't be seen as being sexist.
they don't care about that.
But it's
That's
like,
not the reason.
That's not the reason.
Do you think those tone deaf idiots care about that kind of thing?
They're the most anti. They are far from being close to misleading.
They were too big to be canceled until season 8. This was the early warning signs rather than the final death blows.
This is the iceberg in the distance.
Yeah, I really don't think the reason why was probably because they didn't want they hadn't set it up properly. So in the books, so there are 2 reasons why what happens. In the books, it's because Cersei wants to get a new killed the first original High Septon because she thinks she's loyal to Tyrion, who she thinks killed her son. In the show, she sees an opportunity to toss out a High Septon who was at a whorehouse and is like actively flouting his vows and stuff, and then the Sparrows kick him out naked and force him to walk out Billy Bollocks naked.
Running him from he also like to make sure he like show your shame to the entirety of King's Landing.
Mm-hmm. And then she just throws him in the black cells, appoints the new High Sparrow. Unfortunately, somebody confesses that Cersei has been sleeping around with him, and she gets thrown in the cells. And so now she has, in order to get out of the Sept, which is basically their St. Peter's Basilica equivalent, she gets thrown in, and then she has to do the Walk of Shame in order to get out. So the differences are in they didn't do an immediate setup. They needed to do something to immediately set up the Sparrows versus had been kind of moving the pieces around. So that's kind of the major difference. They don't really care about being sexist. all they care about are these performances, these faces.
And that's Mitch. I just totally remember, like, in season 6, everybody's like all hyped to like, oh my god, Cersei is so clever. She blew up the Sept of Baelor. What's gonna happen next? And nothing.
Yeah.
It's completely forgotten about in season 7. It's like, oh well, it doesn't matter. Well, you know, they blew up the Vatican, but who cares, really?
Yeah. And honestly, HBO ain't woke. They've gotten woke recently with Watchmen.
Oh, good God, no.
And at least, like, with Watchmen and kind of steered that way, apparently, with Westworld. But the thing is, Game of Thrones never cared about being woke. Ever. And that's because these guys are tone deaf. They wanted to do a show about the Confederacy winning the Civil War, an alternative history in the 1900s.
Like, what kind of ideas can you actually come up with in that fucking scenario?
And apparently, like, they barely have any knowledge of the Civil War. So, like, they've barely read any stuff. Yeah. Yeah, did tokenism. But
this was totally political, though.
Yeah. All they care about is this.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
Yeah, they obsess over that shit.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy, especially some of those audio like some of those. I think Dragon Demands must have shared it or something. But you can hear David Benioff obsessing about this character's face.
Yeah, no dialogue, just Lena's face.
Oh my god, that really cemented that for me.
So
you should pull that up. Maybe show her to it. The way he talks, I'm like, oh my god, that's creepy as hell.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really creepy. So let me see. So shooting the sequence was actually really hard to pull off because it's a major tourist attraction. During the planning phase, a Debramna church tried to block the Walk of Shame from filming, citing a city policy against public displays of sexuality.
What?
Okay.
Well, they were completely retarded.
Okay, the producers still managed to get permission from the city, but had to switch a key scene to a different location within Old Town Dubrovnik. The religious protest was ironic, given the sequence's striking similarity to one of the most iconic biblical scenes. The Walk of Shame plays like a gendered version of Jesus being forced to walk to his crucifixion through the streets of Jerusalem while he's abused by a screaming crowd. What?
What? That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I'm just like what?
I mean, I have no historical references for this for myself because I don't know anything about that.
Okay, like it's just it kind of like just says like so basically like so end of Christ's life, crucified, has to walk up to Golgotha to be crucified, and the crowd is made up of people who hate him, and they're mocking him, abusing him. He's already been whipped, and it's just a terrible situation. They're comparing Cersei to like playing out like Christ. That's really strange.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't. I
Cersei
don't see
to
that.
Jesus, huh?
Why? It makes no sense.
Moving on.
Yeah, or the Passion of the Cersei. It's actually really funny. So another issue was far trickier to solve. Lena Headey, she would not be able to appear. She did not want to appear nude and suggested she perform the pens partially clothed instead. In the book, Cersei stripped naked, and the producers likewise believed that nudity was essential to the sequence. Okay. They're trying. So David Benioff They're trying to shame her. They're trying to humiliate as much as possible. It's supposed to be a nightmare. And the nightmare is you're walking naked in a city of a bunch of people. It's a common anxiety dream to be naked in front of people. I don't think it's.
I would call it a dream. I would call it a nightmare.
Yeah, hence that's what he's saying. It's a common anxiety dream. I don't think it's as common that you're in your pajamas in front of people. It's much more horrific if they're just completely dehumanizing you and take off all your clothes and you have nothing to hide.
Do you think this might be a sign of madness? Like she's gonna go fucking ballistic in the next book?
Oh,
after this?
Oh, for sure. This is very much like there are a lot of parallels between.
Oh yeah, her and the Mad King. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah. Like,
what is your take on that? That's what I was asking. Because when they burned the Tower of the Hand with the wildfire, I'm like,
she looks like she's gonna like cream her jeans.
Yeah, I'm like, huh? And everybody says Daenerys the crazy one. I'm looking at this book. I'm like, I don't know. Cersei's looking a little cray-cray over here.
Yeah. Speaking of cray-cray.
The amount of destruction.
Damn it, Blarion, you did it again.
The amount of destruction caused in that clip, it was well within my calculations.
Okay.
My computer started freezing on me a moment ago, but apparently it's a false alarm. The dragon I'm on hold. I may have to take a break at any moment.
You got to give him some water.
Okay. So this is Lena Headey's take on it. I chose not to be naked for many reasons. After the episode aired, some people thought I was less than an actress because I didn't get my tits out. That was
No, that's
what?
Oh my god, no.
What did she say? She's less of an actress because she didn't get her upper extremities out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Some people just aren't comfortable doing that.
Well, that's actually not the thing. So she's done nudity before. She was like buck naked in 300 under Rise of an Empire, and like she's done nudity before. She's not averse to it, but she's very emotional actor. I get really driven. Okay, so going back to what she said, she get really driven by the emotion. In order to do her job, she allows herself to be really vulnerable, and she didn't really know any other way to do it. Things really affected me. The thought of being naked for 3 days and trying to contain her in the way that she would be, I think I would feel very angry. I didn't want to be angry. I don't think Cersei would be angry. I film every year, and I have kids, and it was just too much on top of that. Okay, cool.
All very valid reasons.
Yeah, very valid reasons. So they did come up with a solution. She would perform the walk while wearing a shift, and they cast another actress as her body double to perform the same walk nude, and then merge the two actors with CGI and put Lena Headey's head on the other actor's body, stitching them together like a naked Frankenstein.
Well, that is if they believe in post, which they don't.
They sometimes do, but like I just think like a naked Frankenstein.
Oh my gosh, what does that look like? Like did they?
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm done.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, at least they were willing to do CGI stuff this time, as opposed to, oh no, CGI, it has to be real fire, real explosive, real this, real that.
A real medieval town. We went into another universe and actually shot it in Westeros in real King's Landing.
I think. Well, I think Cersei. Yeah, that's a good question. Cersei would be freaking angry. I think she is pretty I haven't gotten to that scene yet in Dance of Dragons, but I know that it happens. Yeah, it's edgy Bible remake. And the thing is, there is never really going to be a Bible remake, which is.
If the Bible was so good, why
How are you
isn't
going to
there
remake
Bible
the Bible?
Well, you could make a bunch of really, really R-rated shows using the Bible. I will issue a reference.
Yes, you could even go X-rated. You could even go like illegal.
Yep. Like.
It's so you mean to tell
And
me
literally, like.
And then like a show of Jesus cursing and screwing his way throughout Bethlehem.
Well, you wouldn't do
Admittedly,
that. I mean, there's plenty of stuff in the Old Testament that.
Yeah, like David, like the whole town of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's where we get like it would definitely piss off a certain group of people.
There's Noah too. There's some just pretty disgusting stuff there.
Jesus? Oh, you mean the Doomslayer?
Yeah, or like David's son raping his half sister.
Noah and his daughters. That's pretty disgusting.
Oh yeah, that too.
I am eating shrimp right now.
Noah and his daughters. I haven't. Noah and his daughters, huh? But she's pretty freaked out.
Pretty.
It's a pretty common thing when the rest of the world is dead.
Well, it's like they have to repopulate the human race somehow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember Noah having sex with his daughters. I don't remember that one.
Wait a minute. That's a bad thing? Oh, no.
They got him drunk. Yeah, they got him drunk.
That's Lot.
That's Lot. I'm pretty sure.
It's Lot. No, it's Lot, not Noah. How much? You want to bet me $10?
I'm pretty sure it happened with Noah as well. I'm not going to bet, but I'm pretty sure. We can check it out afterwards if you want to.
I know that Noah, like, he got naked and danced before the Lord. That's about it.
No.
I'm pretty sure Noah. I'm pretty sure Noah and his daughters. I'm pretty sure Lot. I'm pretty sure it was Noah. But you can check it out. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you check it out. I'll keep reading.
I'm on hold, so I can't do three things at once.
Okay. I know it's Genesis, so like they're both in Genesis. They're on like 3 or 4 chapters apart. So
yeah.
So, the production.
My God. Oh, sorry. I want to.
Oh no, go for it real quick. Go for it real quick.
Oh, I was gonna say, for another movie, I would recommend Dragon Wars. For like another terrible movie watch.
I know next week we're watching Gods of Egypt and Mars Needs Moms.
Marston eats moms? Martians eat moms? What?
No, Mars needs moms.
Mars meets moms. What the?
Needs.
Mars needs moms. What?
They need moms.
Is that some fucking porn hub shit or something?
Oh
no, unfortunately.
I think it's a Disney animated film.
Oh
yeah,
no.
Robert, it's
Disney has gone real low with that one. Oh no.
No, it's
animated though.
Oh, it's even worse.
No, it's Robert Zemeckis. Yeah, it's a Robert Zemeckis CGI thing.
Oh no! Now they're making CGI porn of moms needs Mars needs moms.
Yeah, it looks the CGI expressions. Well, I got it right.
These expressions.
Yeah. So the production put out a casting call for Nude Frankenstein's Monster, and roughly 1,000 actresses. 1,000 actresses applied for the role.
Did it actually say that in the book?
No, I made that up.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
Dun.
Yeah. So,
Dud, are you alright there on the horniness level?
Oh please, you're not even comparable to Wolf.
I'm not constantly humping the cat lady's leg.
I think that's what I was doing right now.
Hey, calm down there, boy. I got a spray ball. I'm not afraid to use it.
Yeah, that's not gentlemanly to hump the lady's lower extremities like that.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's it.
Honestly.
And now, I think it's time we gave that filthy, slobbering mongrel of yours his shot! Attack! Rapid fire!
Perfect timing with the cocking of the gun. Okay, so the most difficult part was to find an actress who could look like Lena, but also copy her emotional state. I had to almost have a psychological therapy session with the actors. I said, this is going to be a 3-day event. You have to be prepared for the fact that it's very probable someone will get shot from this. We'll get a shot of this from the crowd, and you'll be twinning as the most important thing online. Can you handle it? Okay. Alrighty. Through the mouths of 2 witnesses is the truth established.
Oh dear God.
So several finalists, 7 finalists. I love how it's like talking about like it's a beauty pageant thing.
Maybe it was.
Just random shit. It's like, what else is he gonna fucking come up with?
7 finalists were flown to Belfast for final auditions. David Nutter and the producers gave the role to a newcomer, Rebecca Van Cleve. She was the only actress to do the audition with her underwear on. Everyone else did it naked, but she had this quality that matched Lena, especially where her shoulders and neck were concerned. Apparently, according to Miss Van Cleve, it was the most comfortable casting she's ever had, considering. Interesting.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Interesting. So Lena Headey said of her body double, she's a very great actress, and she was aware of what it was. It was a long process to find someone who got what it means to physically be there. But people assume I picked her. Like I was at the in the casting, I demanded to have a hot body.
What was that again?
Okay. Okay, this is really, really
Why
weird.
am I always drifting off when you find something funny?
He doesn't wake you up.
Okay, so I was in the casting and demanded to have a hot body double.
Well, she's hot. If you're looking for a body double to do something with, and the girl's hot, they're gonna have to find a hot person.
So the casting thing actually said a hot body double. Is that would actually say in the casting sheet?
I don't know. Well, it's basically saying it's kind of like people assume that Lena Headey handpicked this lady, but in reality, she just said, if somebody will do this, I have no choice about it. Whatever you decide, if someone is brave enough to do it, if somebody is brave enough to do it, I applaud it. I had no judgment in that or desire to be involved. I wanted to clear that up because as a woman, that drives me nuts. The thought I'm in the room going, nope. Yeah. Wait, that's most of this book.
Yeah,
So
basically.
it's supposed to be called Wait What?
Wait, what? They said that?
Yeah. So it's just weird she's really I think that would probably be really bad. Like if she's saying looking at women, like the women who are gonna portray her and saying nope, drives her nuts. I can imagine that being slightly Valerian's dead.
Oh no.
Someone must have shot him with a ballista bolt.
I imagine
it must have been a ghost.
So to prepare the scene, they both walked kind of walk through the path, discussing precisely how the character would feel and move as each date unfolded. David Nutter, I wanted to make Rebecca and Lena feel like a team. So the day before, went to this location and walked through it. So they had a great tag team on what they were doing. It was just helpful. And it was helpful for both the actresses. Rebecca was very cool and brave, according to Lena Headey. It takes a lot to walk through a crowd naked for 3 days in a row with the crowd burning at you. I didn't phone it in. I was in there for 3 days with Rebecca. Okay. So they fashioned a public wig or merkin for Van Cleve, which became a source of backstage amusement. Interesting. Rebecca, in regards to it, it was hilarious dealing with the merkin and everything that came with it. On the first day, the costume girls gave me a fake mustache instead of the merkin to wear, which was great. That's funny.
Yeah, it is.
Just walk around there with a fucking mustache, like okay.
Yeah. And a lot of bits of food got found in the merkin. So before every take, we'd be like, check. No, there's a bit of bread in there. So Lena Headey decided to name it the Rice Catcher.
Oh, I hate rice.
Depends on how it's cooked.
Yeah, and well, what other name are you going to give?
Well, it also depends if you fucking eat it every day.
So, Bernadette Caulfield, we're shooting it in a city where you're surrounded by walls that looked down on our walk of shame. We covered most of the view lines with umbrellas. That was our biggest challenge. We wanted to protect her, and we wanted to make sure that just everybody behaved and was respectful of the situation. We didn't want to offend anybody. We left very little exposed, so to speak. So the scene begins. They're on the old town's framed Jesuit stairs, which was used as the steps for the step to Baylor. The High Sparrow leads Cersei to believe that she was going to be released after she confessed her sins, but it's revealed that she's having to perform a nude penance walk to get home. So from the steps, she could see the Red Keep in the distance, but she has to track through the bowels of the city full of people who despised her. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. That just brings it season 8 and 7
how
into
she
worse.
thinks that her character would not have been absolutely enraged by that.
Yeah, you would be mad, but then you slowly get broken down, as people just throw crap at her.
And not to mention, like they said, people despised her, and yet in season 7 to 8, they're just fucking background items. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
but you would think it'll get worse after they blew up the fucking Vatican.
Yeah, imagine what would the reaction from the general Catholic community, throughout the world, Catholic Church, if say the President of England, the Prime Minister of England blew up the Vatican.
Because he was having a trial
They
in the
would
Vatican.
be absolutely murderous.
Exactly.
It's like going to Islam and blowing up that really special place up there. You know what I'm talking about?
The Dome of the Rock or
the Rock.
or Mecca.
Either of those two.
The same goes with the Jews blowing up Solomon's temple.
Uh-huh.
I know it's not there, but blowing up what's left.
Sorry. Slip of the tongue.
Yeah.
The book makes me stupid.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're still functionally smart. You're just dampening it so you can get away with the excuse of book making me dumb.
True.
No.
It's making me fucking retarded.
But at least
What we're doing is simply listing things that would make a certain group of people absolutely murderous.
Yeah. Or
the whole point is season 7 and 8, fucking people are trying to murder her.
Yeah, they're fine. They're kind of fine with it, which is weird.
No, they totally believe her in season 8. They're totally passive about it. We got to get into the city because the queen says that she'll keep us safe.
which is stupid because you don't want to be in a city that's going to be attacked. You run for the hills.
Oh, remember Old
Yeah,
Town?
you do.
Remember when the dragons, when they were threatened to burn? I forget the part. You probably remember it more than I do.
Like
it's an old
when
history.
Magor and Visenya were about to torch Old Town, and because the High Septon had been yelling that Magor was a usurper, and they were rolling up with Vagar and Balerion, who are the two biggest dragons in existence,
and everybody fled,
and everybody ran. There's also not so distant past, Battle of Blackwater. A lot of people were running out of King's Landing, and as Stannis approached, they didn't want to be near that.
No, it's fine. We had to make Daenerys look super evil by really cramming everybody into the middle of the city to contrive a way to make her look super evil, so we can have her Hitler shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
So
it's fucking comical. It's like Monty Python's level of fucking contrived.
Yeah, you gotta have.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
Yeah. Good God.
Yay! I got my share time of performances and faces when I was yelling at John.
Yeah, we're about to get more. Probably.
What season are we on still? I lost track.
We're still on season 5, and we're halfway through the book.
Oh my God! We got some good bits probably coming up soon.
Yeah, it seems like they devoted a lot.
I'm waiting for like season 7.
Yeah.
That's when the real shit's gonna happen.
It seems like they devoted a lot of time to season 5 for whatever reason. It seems like to justify. The only good part of season 5 is Cersei. Everything else is stupid.
I do like certain random bits of like the dragon pit scene. It's mostly like just random battle scenes.
Yeah, my brother read the book, some of the books, and he watched the show up until the end of season 2, and then he jumped ship because there was too much torture for him.
Oh, there was too much torture in season 2?
No, season 1 and 2.
Oh.
There was too much.
Wow, that's surprising. There's very little torture. There actually, like, as far as I can remember, there's only like 2 or 3 scenes of torture rather than the sustained, drawn-out torture in season 3.
Well,
so I think he probably jumped ship a little bit in advance, but yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah, none of us are into Gorn.
Oh, it's not portrayed as sexy. It's trying to be portrayed as
No. That's not what it is. It's like what food porn is. It's showing it's showing it off and making people hungry.
I see. So in regards to Cersei, Hetty, she's been beaten, starved, and humiliated. She thinks when she comes out about what she's done and confesses, there's going to be it. Even when she was on her knees, she's lying. Partly lying. She thinks she's good to go. She has no idea when she comes out to the steps, what's coming when they walks out to the steps, or when they shave her hair off like Aslan. Lena Headey, good reference, totally poignant and pertinent, since Cersei's a lion, and so is Aslan. That's actually like, Lena Headey's smart. Okay, cool. And she's well read, or at least she's watched the good movies. Not maybe she's old. She might have even watched the BBC Narnia movies like as a kid. She's like 45-ish. She might have seen it. So Rebecca Van Cleve, the first time we took the robe off, there was this anticipation toward it, says Eve. But it's such an emotional experience for Cersei, you almost check out of the fact that you're nude. You're so in touch with the scene and what you're going for. So along the way, she is escorted by the cruel Septa Unella, who rang a bell and shouted the word that served as a chastisement for Cersei, as well as a command for the crowd: shame, shame, shame.
We should do that to Dave and Dan.
Yeah.
For all the shit that they put the cast and crew and George's source material through.
Honestly,
definitely.
Honestly, just showing off their like barely functional scripts that are just not even that they are filled with
No, it's
plot
not even
holes.
them running naked. It's literally them holding their scripts in their hands and they're walking through the city. Shame.
Welcome, Yokai. Good to see you.
Oh, he doesn't have an
Hey,
intro.
Yokai.
It's a heresy.
Forgot.
Lord Captain Commander Dunn kind of forgot about Agent Zokov's in your asshole. You cut me off.
The Lord Captain Commander Dunass.
Hello. How's it going? You okay?
You there?
Hello.
Hello,
wait.
Yokai.
We'll just wait.
Is he going to assassinate some of us now?
We'll just wait.
How about now?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Look at that.
There we go.
So to catch you up, we're reading through a book called Fargo.
Okay.
Bear cannot kill a dragon.
Jesus,
It's a
Doug, you died.
It's a weird book that feels like a shill book, while also being an expose, where they talked about how they smuggled explosives into Morocco.
We are never going to let them live that down. Never.
It's full of weird references to memes and other
the Boromir meme,
things trying to make it so that like he sounds hip with the kids.
What I miss?
Weird comparisons of Cersei to Aslan and Jesus, even though Cersei is a psychotic maniac.
Yeah, I'm not a lion either.
No, she's totally normal. What are you talking about? Daenerys is the crazy one. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Cersei's good.
Yes, because she made a sad face.
That proves it right there.
Yeah, definitely.
What are the other like highlights of this bloody book?
Death.
And Tyrion made a shocked Pikachu face, so he's the arbiter of morality now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Someone almost died. Somebody did die.
Someone almost died.
Someone did really die.
Someone almost got flung off of a cliff from a horse because they filmed during Windy, and another lady nearly fainted from cold.
Emilia Clarke got a brain hemorrhage, and some other guy got almost seriously hurt falling through the moon door, if I remember correctly.
Not to mention explosives.
Yep.
Okay, Michael Bay, calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nelius, we remember that you being late is become a trend of you.
Mm-hmm. Cersei won.
Only Cersei won. The world
especially the bunny's part.
And butterflies everywhere.
Especially the bunny's part.
Little unicorns and rainbows and stuff would be sprouting all over the place.
Constant reminder, they thought smuggling explosives into Morocco was a good idea. Yeah.
We literally just brought it up. Everybody brings it up.
There was absolute.
Oh, not just on the ground, and also ice cold water, which is worse.
Oh,
yeah,
and then
it's like no,
It's your little.
no.
they were
I don't-
shooting a frozen lake, and the lake and started to.
Yeah,
the ice started to
not
crack.
only as this book began to show that not only are Benioff and Weiss incredibly incompetent, they are extremely negligent.
Yeah. Because
And not just not
mining
regular
for hours in ice cold water. Yeah.
Oh my
that's
God.
not gonna get you sick.
Have
Have
you
we
seen the
mentioned
reviews on Audible for this book?
Have we mentioned the people who had to stay up all night when freezing rain was falling on them, pretending to be dead?
Yeah.
That too.
Let's keep going. So Hannah Wyndham played Septa Unella. This is something that Unella does all the time. She's taken a vow of silent, except for saying confess and shame. What? What?
That is a compute.
What?
A vow of silence,
A
but
vow of
speak.
silence means you don't speak at all.
What is English, anyways? Right? Am I right, people?
Except for shame and confess. So she's only allowed to say 2 words.
I don't get it. That's so weird.
Was that ever explained? I don't remember that part in the show.
That's not there. That is the actress's headcanon, I think.
Hype cannon?
Headcanon.
Oh.
Yeah. That's her headcanon.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I hate it when people do the headcanon shit. Like, they
Yeah.
think their headcanon so strongly that they think it's actually part of the show or something.
Yeah, and it's not. It's like no, there
or-
are
or-
holes in the performance in the
or-
script, and everything else. Stop it.
Like my
Acknowledge that
friend-
there are holes.
To be fair to the actresses and actors, though, if they're not told anything by the people ahead of them, sometimes they almost
Or-
have to do head
That's actually a possibility that she got told that is her thing by Benioff and Weiss, and that just never either it shows up on the script because that's something that they do, because they'll put vital plot details or characterization pieces in the script notes, which you should not do.
What should you be doing with those things then?
Because going back,
you don't put them in period. You put them in direction. You don't put long internal monologue stuff in a script. It's very, very different medium than a book.
Because you can't read people's thoughts.
So if John isn't actually saying she's cute as a bug, it should not be in the script.
Nope.
I want to say about headcanon because there's the same thing with the Mandalorian about his Beskar armor. that people kept,
I've seen Monty Python back. That's true. It's what even subject to your turn part. Well, that if you got the funniest joke in the world, it has become instantly lethal.
Yep.
Take cover.
What these English people, am I right? Or Dragon? Damn, where did we jetzt nur Deutsche?
Alrighty, let's keep going.
Well, that was before I was cut off again. I was talking about because like people with their headcanon, like I was gonna make an example of Mandalorian. One of my friends had the headcanon that his undersuit was made out of Beskar, and that's why it made sense that it only hit his armor for some reason. It's completely broken logic.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's just at least like with this, it's possibly like it doesn't affect the show. It's just kind of a weird detail that like I don't get why they include. I don't get why we don't know the reasons why. There are two functions. There are two possibilities. Either headcanon, it's in the script and it never entered the show, but it might have. Yeah, it says little, speaks little to none at all. That doesn't sound like a vow of silence. I don't understand where that correlates. I really don't understand how to correlate. That's so weird that would.
There are some people who are selectively mute, and there are situations where they just can't talk no matter what. But that doesn't sound like this.
Yeah. So.
I probably butchered that pronunciation, Nelius.
Yeah. So, Subject Annals' only function is to make people confess and then rally the crowds to make them feel as low as they can, so they can atone for behavior. And then there are times she's saying it more into Cersei's ear. That's really a worm getting inside her head. Everybody thinks she's evil. I think she's a simple person. Okay. She's also super tall, like really, really, really tall. Like I think she's like 6'3", 6'4", or something. Like unusually tall for Hollywood. So time and time again, Hetty and Cleve took turns walking the path as extras screamed every conceivable obscenity. So, Rebecca Van Cleve, we've been playing tag team, you're it, and trying to make light of the fact we're covered in everything and going through this together. Moments when I got all kinds of stuff thrown at me and the chamber pots being thrown at her, and you realize this is all a bit much.
Okay, dare I ask whether it was actual excrement that was being thrown?
I don't think so.
It enhances the actors' performances.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that human fecal matter has lots of unpleasant stuff
It's more of a jape. I don't think they actually did that.
I don't think they did that. I think that they just put like putty or something.
I hope they didn't.
I don't know how far.
I think there are like.
Well, we didn't know any better.
There are certain health and safety codes. Just because they weren't aware of the horse laws of you can't make live horses do certain things on camera.
We smuggle explosives into Morocco.
Yeah, but throwing poop at people is carrying it too far.
We don't know what his finish. We don't know what Benioff's finishes are. Not
Oh,
all
no.
of them.
Are you sure we don't?
I said not all of them, at least. For all we know, he could be into
all sorts of stuff.
Eating
Bad
shit.
wolf. Bad. Spray with water again, Neph.
I'm trying to be wise here.
You know what? Well, I think he's just into brown women. I don't think he's into crap women.
You're a dog, not a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Get away.
All right.
So, Hannah Waddingham, in regards to Rebecca Van Cleve, that poor young girl had never done any naked work. When the assistant director shouted cut, she wasn't standing there as Cersei, she was standing there as a naked woman. So I had to battle my way through the crowd and wrap my habit around her so that the costume department could get to her, because you have this load of guys just staring.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we wanted it to be respectful. Yeah, that's not respectful.
Well, there's limitations to what you can really do.
Well, yeah, but my point is that they didn't need to stare anymore. They should have looked away.
Yeah, that's very. Yeah, I think part of it is like, have you ever seen the behind the scenes for A Knight's Tale?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Geoffrey Chaucer, Paul Bettany is naked twice in the film because he basically has a gambling problem and he bets his clothes because he doesn't really have money.
Okay.
And like he says, like he yelled at the like at one point, like he said to the director, "You bastard! Like what? I'm naked all the time. It's okay. I'm naked all the time in this script." He's like, "It'll be fine. It's a closed set." And he's like, when he got it, BS. Everybody shows up to the closed set.
Maybe I should gamble my clothing. Wait, I don't have any clothing.
Yeah. So. Okay.
What can I gamble?
Yeah. So David Nutter.
I can. Okay, here's my clothing. I'm putting it up as a gamble.
Stop streaking in front of Neph. It's not dignified.
And it's ungentlemanly too.
I don't want your human clothes. What am I supposed to do with this?
I don't know. Go to the store, buy a record. Wait. Use those codes to get codes for yourself. Jesus.
What is it with all the weird noises today?
He has dolphin. He is part dolphin.
Part dolphin. Okay, that explains.
No, yeah, he's called the Dunfin.
So okay, so what was important? So what was important was to really sell the hate. The villagers, their disdain of her, as well as make it violent. Sometimes Rebecca would be walking, and the background actors would have this look of awe. At first, the assistant director came up to them. If you act like this, I'm going to have to take you off the step. Haven't any of you seen a P word before? Let it go.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I'm just like,
I don't know how to make that up.
I have no response to that other than like
But even I couldn't have come up with something like this.
Okay, what was this? What did I just miss?
Wow. What a loser.
This part.
Give it a few.
Give it a minute.
No. If you act like this, I'm going to have to take you off the set. Haven't any of you seen a pussy before? Let it go.
What?
Yes.
So the actors were good at being actors, and they got yelled at for that or something.
No, I think it's mainly like he's like I think they were kind of there's an element of what was it? Like they're kind of because it's a very attractive lady, and like they have to be rather like they were kind of like odd and I guess like kind of respectable, but they need to like not be for the scene, I guess.
That's cute. Like, do you need to go roll now? Like, take some lotion and go into the bathroom, you horn dog.
Yeah, why take your own advice?
Yeah.
What? What?
I'm sorry, what was that, White?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Haven't you ever seen in a vagina before?
I've never seen a pudendum liebre before.
Have you ever seen the female reproductive organ before?
Okay.
What is that?
So it's not hard when people are screaming at you and you look like crap and you're effing humiliated to express how that would feel. I did what I thought she would do emotionally, and wonderful Rebecca was able to contain herself and be naked. She found it very difficult. Obviously, it's not a natural thing to do. Okay, yeah. Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly. Just wow. Another thing that like I find interesting is they're devoting this whole chapter to the lady who is Cersei's body double, but Doran Martell, Alexander Siddig, who is a renowned TV actor and has been in a lot of things, doesn't even get a mention.
He's like one of the two actors I'd heard of before the show.
Yeah, that's just kind of strange to me, especially because they probably don't want to say, oh, he was contracted for 3 more episodes after the episode he died, so we just kind of just gave him that for free. Because the showrunners just said, like, let's dump this. We're not interested anymore.
Yeah, what's those characters in a really dumb way that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. So,
they're big men anymore.
Let's kill the rest of the Martell family, so we can have a revenge for House Martell.
Yeah.
That's how logic works, right?
All right.
Right? Makes work for me.
So, okay, David Benioff. Some of the shots we got, some of those close-ups, Lena had to go to a certain place to get the right emotion. It's incredibly compelling. yet you almost want to turn away because you're looking at someone who's suffering. Okay.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
God, I hate him.
That's a ding. That's a ding in that. Yep. I'm gonna put that right there. That's a ding in that at that camp.
You can hear me grunting. I'm like, oh no, they're doing the thing.
Nope, they haven't talked about John at all. It's been first kind of generalized theme of season 5, even though Game of Thrones doesn't do
What
themes.
did Jon Snow do in season 5? I forgot. They never talked about him. Did they?
Dies, I think.
He gets elected Lord Commander. He tries to get people out of Hardhome, and then he dies.
Oh my god, I remember Hardhome. I remember when the White Walkers were threatening.
Yeah. So David Nutter, I gave her a little empathy because she's still a mother, because Cersei's still a mother who will do anything for her kids. Lena Headey, I can maybe do 1 or 2 scenes I'm in. Suddenly, Headey looked anguished, then snapped back to appearing calm and composed. Then my scene is finished. I effing hate lying in a scene. Oh, that's interesting. That's strange. I've never had that. This is a first for this book. Apparently she was. I don't know whether like.
Wow, we're literally 50% into the book now.
Which is kind of like this point here is just kind of a weird moment.
I suddenly looked other in English.
Okay, what are we looking at? Let's see.
So this is the first time that this has shown up. Basically, like there's an addendum within the interview point. I don't know whether that's her genuinely feeling like really bad about it, or this is kind of a. I think it's probably like an acting thing, but like I don't. And then my truth is finished. I don't. I can kind of understand, but I think like maybe just like she doesn't like quote unquote lying in a scene. Interesting. Okay.
I mean, acting in a role. I mean, it's not really the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's just like she wants to be authentic to the character, I suppose. Maybe. Maybe. So at one point, a man in the crowd dropped. At one point, a man in the crowd dropped his pants and screamed at Cersei, "I'm a Lannister, suck me off." Okay. The moment prompted a brief sidebar discussion among the director and the producers. The man was circumcised. Was that a problem? What? You're devoting time to this and not Alexander Siddig? Are you nuts?
This
So
is
they're still-
stupid. What the hell?
So they're having a problem with the fact this man is circumcised.
Are men in Westeros cut or not?
Does it even say if they are anywhere?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Circumcision is very much a Jewish thing, and then it's transferred into modern times because people don't want to get crotch rot in that particular area of their body. So Benioff decided it didn't matter. Worst case scenario, the man's penis could be digital.
Could be like
Imagine
CGI. Were they gonna CGI?
Imagine being on a crew that did that. It's like,
oh my god!
I got the CGI a penis. What?
That's how much I think about that scene.
Oh my gosh!
This is that's an odd thing to care about, considering the other things they didn't care about.
Yeah, it's really weird.
We have all these issues, but I want to talk about whether or not men in Westeros are actually circumcised.
And it's not like
I don't think so.
Wow, they really had a committee over that. What a waste of
They're
time.
attacking the real.
They
they're
had
attacking the
such
real
great
problem.
time management skills. It's like really great.
Yeah, you know all those other problems they have. Nah, this is the real problem.
Yeah, who
You know,
drew
the plot structure
I
of the
don't
thing or
know.
this or that. No,
Yeah.
the CGP is the most important thing we
Yeah,
have.
well, character, who cares? Whatever.
I'm just like
I still because
they cared this as much about the coffee cup. Yeah, this is just weird.
it's also weird because they keep downplaying, like they were talking like the people of HBO, like they were trying to downplay the fantasy elements. Like, don't worry, it's not going to be campy or stuff. Like, can you write great something? I forgot the exact line. Like, anything can be great if you have a good script. Like, this ain't hard.
Can we stop? Can we stop talking about naked people?
I wish,
But
but they keep bringing it up.
It's kind of a motif,
I thought we would be done with this scene. I feel like we've been talking about this one scene for an hour already.
We haven't. Wait, we have?
Yes.
You should call this reading and suffering through fucking Cersei's trial.
This whole chapter is about one scene in season 5. At the
Is there
very
anything else in context? We can probably just skip a whole lot of this if there's nothing to be said.
Okay, let me try.
Hey, okay, how are you doing so far?
Okay, let me see. How much?
What's up?
Oh, we have. Oh, good. We only have 2 more pages left.
Okay, how are you holding up?
Is there anything of substance in any of them?
Not at the moment, no.
Anything juicy?
So far, okay. So all it's a description of Cersei's crown perseverance to crack. She's at her lowest moment. Her punishment felt wrong, even though her crimes were selfish and cruel, which is not accurate. Cersei's a monster. Once it was finally in sight, Cersei stumbled. At that point at which the crowd had reached its maximum intensity. So at that point, David and I got our running performance to really be goading us, really goading us. Even me, who was supposed to really stoked. Lena was bashed into. I was bashed into. Lena and I were quite shaken and in tears. The aggression. ... David said to me, maybe you could help her up, but because I had got so into the zone by then, I was like, the best thing I can do is not help her up. As a woman, let her get up by herself, and I'll be smirking as if to say, this is what you get for being dirty and incestuous, and this is how you atone for your behavior. So, okay, that's what the character, okay. Okay, so at last, Cersei crossed the bridge, gets to the Red Keep. Mountain picks her up. She's shamed, starved, abused, humiliated, but not broken. So, Alyssa Rosenberg says, wrote about it in the Washington Post. Game of Thrones has used nudity casually in previous seasons, but season 5 was a marked improvement, and this scene of shame and humiliation was a real high point for the series. In the march, Cersei's whole body is exposed on occasion, but in a way that makes us watching at home complicit with the violence Faith is doing to her. Very much the themey people that have infested the critic industry, which is frustrating.
The Johan.
2 pages. I hope it's the greatest fantasy.
Yeah, I hope we skip past all the boring shit. I'm done with this scene already.
Yeah, well, when I'm named characters, men and women, rare cases, equal opportunity, nudity, expose themselves to Cersei, it's assaultive to her and us. This is nakedness as violence towards a character we know, if not love, rather than lovingly photographed nudity presented for the consumption of both corrupted characters like the former High Septon, Paul Bentley, and those who are watching at home. David Benioff was really impressive about what David Nutter did with that scene. Is you feel what it would be like to happen to you. Obviously, you, the viewer, are not standing in the street being pelted by crap and tomatoes and eggs and everything else, but he's letting you feel it. A lot of the shots are first person. You feel viscerally the horror of that moment. Once you're totally inside a character's skin, it's really hard to loathe them. Rebecca Van Cleve. It was one of the scariest, most wonderful experiences I could have ever imagined. Interesting. I would never in a million years thought I would have been in Dubrovnik, surrounded by hundreds of crew members and extras throwing food. It was an amazing and gratifying experience. It helped me. I feel stronger than ever now. interesting. Lena Headey, the thing about Cersei is she's never really been broken, and there's something that's vengeful and angry and survivalist. You can break every bone in her body, but there's one left, she'll fix it. And that's the end.
How the hell did they get an entire chapter on one freaking scene?
Especially since it skipped whole seasons practically.
Well, the next bit is about Sansa.
Oh, great.
No, it's that one scene, isn't it?
Yeah, I imagine it is. Let's see, how many... Wow.
Hey, let's listen about the fanfic scene that doesn't exist in the books. How do we?
Okay, so chapter 21. Let me check the table of contents. 21 to 22. 21 through 20. They get 11 pages out of that scene.
Wow.
What?
That's a 5-minute scene. I guess like the whole subplot, but okay. Alrighty.
Well, it's a controversial scene.
Yeah. So shall we just try and like get through this, or shall we? Since we've only been doing this for an hour and 20.
Well,
how long do you think it'll take to get through the next chapter?
If there ain't much stuff to talk about, you can probably just get past a lot of it.
Yeah, I'll just try to get the bad stuff. Okay, so the walk of the weirdest thing is it's called Romance Dies. Is the name of it?
Romance Dies.
This must be around the scene.
Yeah,
Sounds like it.
This is going to be the part. I read a little bit ahead, and well, there's some bad stuff in here. Here we go.
But didn't they say Sansa has a love interest?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they're talking about that prank then.
Not a prank.
No, not the prank. It's the scene.
It's a made-up Sansa rape scene.
Yeah, let's say it's rape scene.
That title gives me deep rage. Yeah, it's I was not as horrified as I should have been. I was just like, well, I was kind of expecting this to happen. But I was kind of
I was not proud of my younger self defending this dumbassery.
I wasn't defending it. I think I was the only thing that was kind of analyzing the show was what's their faces, the Red Team review and the Young Turks.
I think I had like the same stupid defense that most people had. Like, what? They kill babies, but you have a problem with this? Yeah, I had that stupid take back then.
Honestly, I didn't realize that this was like controversial until I got home from my mission. But anyway, so Romance Dies is the chapter title. The Walk of Shame generated scrutiny and debate, but wasn't the most controversial scene in the show. Nor was Shireen being burned alive, or the Red Wedding, Theon's mutilation, or the death of Ned Stark. It was, by the subjective standards of media and fandom uproar, Sansa and Ramsay Bolton's wedding night.
Wise, your keyboard.
Subjective standards of fandom uproar.
Yeah, you want me to show? Oh,
No, I'm just writing it down.
Subjective things of fandom uproar, huh?
Subjective. It's all just subjective.
Oh shit, we're getting some good stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of subjective, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phantom Bros wedding night. So
Yeah,
most controversial it was, at least, was standard.
Yeah, the objective thing is were they making the right faces or not?
Arrangement.
I have to work tomorrow. I need alcohol for this. Dang it.
Yeah.
The whole problem is not that rape is in the show because they wholly mistreated the entire thing. Yeah, true. So arranged okay, so they're going into justifying it by saying arranged marriages are the norms in Westeros, as is in many countries in the world today. Parents brokered.
What? No.
Parents,
Arranged marriages are not a normal thing anymore.
Nope.
Depends on the culture.
Yeah, we're talking about the Islamic culture. That's an entirely different thing.
Well,
it is not.
But most of the world doesn't do it anymore.
Well,
it's a rare thing.
Actually, it's actually fairly common, like in Hindu cultures, and
the extent of the royals still do arranged marriages.
And I think that probably like there's some element. I think that there are a little. They are not common in this hemisphere. They are, however, common in areas of the world that are like of a different that are not Judeo-Christian. Though there might even be like some places like in South America where there are arranged marriages just because resources are scarce, I guess. Maybe. But I don't know for sure. I know for sure that they happen in Islamic cultures and they happen in a lot of Indian and Hindu cultures.
Okay, what about hippie culture?
Hippies.
Hindu, not hippie.
Well, I was going to say, it seems a little weird to be talking about hippies in this context, but hey.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, arranged marriages are, like, several countries in the world do have arranged marriages. It's not, I think that's a fair statement to make. So parents typically broker unions between their children to get money and power. Ned and Catelyn Tully even had an arranged marriage, and she slowly grew to love her husband. So in season 5, in an effort to consolidate his alliance with the Boltons, Littlefinger arranged a marriage between Sansa and Ramsay. He claimed Sansa wasn't legitimately married to Tyrion, since their marriage union wasn't consummated. Fair, I guess.
The trouble is that the whole premise doesn't make sense, because why would Littlefinger hand Sansa over in the first place?
Oh dear.
Oh shit! This shit we've been waiting for this whole time.
Oh,
it gets better.
Oh, great.
Now I'm animated.
Okay.
Okay, you need to do full screen again so I can read this baby.
Okay, so the master manipulator persuaded Sansa that uniting the Stark and Bolton houses were the best way for her to regain Winterfell and protect her from the Lannisters, who falsely blamed her for Joffrey's death. There was one problem. Ramsay was a psychopath. Despite
pardon me.
Despite Littlefinger's knowledge as power proclamation, Baelish was unaware of Ramsay's nature when he made the deal.
It also makes no sense.
That makes no fucking sense whatsoever, considering the character we're dealing with here.
That makes absolutely no sense.
No, I think this is more of the writers kind of forgot.
Oh yeah, they even say like the result provoked a fierce debate over whether the arc was right for the story as well as whether it was handled right, handled in an appropriate way. In Ramsay's book, Ramsay's way night more shuttingly explicit. Theon is forced to participate, but the bride is someone else. Ramsay marries Sansa's friend Jaime Poole after Littlefinger managed to trick him into believing she was the long missing Arya Stark. No, that's not accurate at all. Roose and Ramsay are aware that that is not Arya Stark. They are well aware of it. That is flat wrong.
Okay.
Survey says.
So the book admits that the master manipulator did not. First, it calls him master manipulator. Then it admits he doesn't know that Ramsay is a psychopath.
Yeah, despite having any knowledge of power. Yeah.
Yeah. Survey says. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It starts, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pushing.
Yeah, I just have like. Yeah, I just like
Yeah, well, you know, just fucking Baelish didn't know about Ramsey.
Yeah, also
Is also nowhere to be found in this film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did they make this shit? I don't. Why did they? They had. Okay. I'm trying to like figure out why they did this.
Stop bringing logic into it.
Perion, how dare you?
Stop bringing logic into any movie.
Stop bringing logic into a movie! Random, incoherent, juvenile shit happens, things explode, and people empty their wallets to see it!
Exactly.
Precisely.
I have a whole buttload of library of clips, and it's really useful.
Don't test me. I have a library of clips. I'm not afraid to use it.
Like 6 trillion of them just applied that just 2 paragraphs.
Oh yeah, so do I, Don.
Yeah. Interesting. I
man,
assume you're going to use it to neuter Wolf with a bullet.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, Wolf, stay close.
No.
Just stay close. This won't hurt.
Easy, knife. Your gun is no more.
What the heck? It's a gun. It has range.
What
do you have? The fucking Halo 2 fucking energy sword? We just
nope. It's a knife Isaiah has. He has amazing knives. They cut through pretty much steel.
I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. I don't know. I know Roos is where, but I think he kind of would be. She doesn't look like a Stark, really. She doesn't.
Have they ever seen Arya Stark before?
Well,
Roos has.
Well, I know that Ramsey have. Why does your mind jump to neuter? I don't know. I'm a terrible person.
Because he's a really horny dog, and we need to take care of him before he impregnates everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. So Martin, Martin, in regards to the thing, Jane Poole was included in the pilot. She's shown giggling next to Sansa, but she's never seen or referred to again. I actually wrote Jane into the pointy end, my first script when Arya killed the stable boy.
Okay. I may sound like a horrible person, but the pointy end.
Oh, get your mind out of the gutter, Wolf. Get out of here.
I'm sorry. I hear that. I think that.
When Arya killed the stable boy, I had some stuff with Jane running to Sansa being all hysterical and dialogue in the council chamber with Littlefinger saying, "Give her to me. I'll make sure she doesn't cause us any trouble." That was dropped.
No fucking reason. For no reason.
Is this the bit where Martin actually says that
Martin set it up in season 1?
Never do that?
Martin set it up in season 1 and it was dropped. For whatever reason, which is kind of surprising because season 1 was the season where they were trying really, really hard to cram as much things in since they were short 40 minutes of a full season.
Oh, but no, we had only time for that fucking scene that like after the battle. Or was it before the battle? No, we have that. We can't do Jane Poole because we're terrible at time management.
We made up a scene of Cersei and Robert, which is admittedly nice, but
it really doesn't add anything. We could have done a Jane Poole scene, would actually affect the plot.
Yeah.
What about the bit where Martin says that Littlefinger would never hand Sansa over to the Boltons? Never. Very emphatically. Is that in this chapter or another chapter?
Could you repeat that?
GWRM said very emphatically, Littlefinger would never hand Sansa over to the Boltons. Never. Is that in this chapter?
I don't think so. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they did. I don't think he did.
He definitely said that. Is that in this book?
It's not in this book. I believe it's probably in a different interview about like the characters must change from the show to the book to the show.
Yeah.
So, David Benioff, Sansa is a character we care about almost more than any other. We really wanted her to play a major part in this season. If we were going to stay absolutely faithful to the book, it was going to be very hard to do that. There was a
no, it's not. You just have no idea what you're freaking doing.
Not particularly. I mean, there's a eerie plot.
Oh man, here we go.
Because they have no. It's not that. It's you can't write more shit.
Their long-term planning is really bad.
You think they have long-term planning at all?
I think that they like do long-term planning and then they throw it out when they have it when Benioff gets one of his bipolar manic episodes. Where he just gets this mad burst of creativity at midnight or something and just decides to write for a couple hours and just says, "Here, we're doing this," even though it's stupid.
Because it's stupid.
Yeah,
he got a real high from the Red Wedding and thinks he's hot shit because of it.
Oh, that's just how his brain works. He's even probably did that for stuff like Talisa. He did that for every major change was likely a random burst of creativity from Benioff. And it's really, really weird.
Evil Danny.
Yeah, that was a last minute change.
So, I really got upset like when I gone through like the earlier parts of the book when they were talking about Emilia Clarke, like how she was meant for this role, and then I just remember season 8 and I'm like getting all upset all over again.
Yeah. So there was a subplot we loved from the books, but it was a character not involved in the show that sense makes no sense. George R. R. Martin, I was trying to set up Jane for her future role as the false Arya. The real Arya has escaped and presumed dead, but this girl has been in Littlefinger's control for years, and he's been training her. She knows Winterfell, she has the proper northern accent, can pose as Arya. Who on earth knows what a little girl you met 2 years ago looks like? When you're a lord visiting Winterfell, are you going to pay attention to the little kids running around? So she can pull off the impersonation. Not having Jane, they use Sansa for that. Is that better or worse? You can make your decision there. Oddly, I never got pushback for that in the book because no one cared about Jane Poole that much. They care about Sansa.
Ouch.
Okay.
I bet there are some people who care about her.
Well, one thing that is kind of difficult is that Jane Poole disappears for 3 books.
That's not going to stop Jane Poole from having fans.
She doesn't do. She's a very minor character that doesn't.
Kind of like Braun in the books. He's like barely there.
Not even like the level of not even the level of Braun. She's just like girl. She's like She's like even less of a character than one of Padme's body doubles.
And how does that disprove my point?
Well, it's just like she's just a girl who shows up, who is basically just Sansa's friend. She's basically just moonstruck over a guy who's significantly older than her. There's really nothing to her as a character, and then she just vanishes, and there's so much else happening that you kind of don't remember that she's there. And like she just vanishes. Nobody really thinks about her nobody even really thinks about her for 3 books. Like she's just gone. Nobody thinks about her, especially like not even Sansa thinks about her at all. So I kind of see some of the reason. I think it was very, very dumb. So you could have done it. So Dance with Dragons was published in 2011, so they had plenty of time. And she disappears for 3 books, so she disappears for 3 seasons. And so she's like a character mentioned in the side note. Hard unless you write her yourself from the ground up. Yeah,
I think the TV show was like the worst thing that happened to George because now he's probably never going to finish these damn books.
Nope. Yeah, I don't think that I find it. Yeah, she's not very. You can't. I don't like. You're not in her head at all. She's just somebody who Sansa kind of interacts with, and the main like thing that you get sympathy for is like she just when she gets thrown to the Boltons like a
It's
piece
kind of like a butler or some random servant or something.
Yeah, she's mean to Sansa. I'm not to Sansa, to Arya.
Yeah.
Which
So I
makes a little bit of poetic justice that she turns into Arya afterwards.
and then gets abused.
Yeah, that part's carrying it further than poetic justice.
Yeah.
That's just. Bleh.
Yeah. So, yeah, Sansa only thinks about Sansa. That is correct. But that kind
That's
of
not quite true, though.
yeah, Sansa. Well, Sansa Jane Poole doesn't. I imagine Jane Poole by the point of Dance with Dragons has fans, but not in terms of book one. By book one, she's not she's just an appendage to Sansa. She only really becomes a character in book 5, 3 books later. After she's not been, she appears briefly in 3, and it's not even said that like it's Jane Poole. It's just a girl, a northern girl, and it's not even mentioned that it's Jane Poole. And she's like there for like 3 sentences. So, yeah. Yeah, why not just have like why not just have a random character?
They could have kept Ross, not killed Ross off, and used Ross to be fake Arya. I don't know if she looks much like Arya, but hey.
I've seen Esme Bianco and Maisie Williams. They look nothing alike. There's also a distinct age gap.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You'd have to use like a teenager. You'd have to use like a teenager in order to pull that off.
Yeah.
He was the steward, not the master at arms. But he was
That
part
was
of the household, yeah.
That was his brother.
No, not his brother.
Master at Arms.
No, that's Jory Cassell. Yeah, that was Roderick Cassell, the dude with the mustache things of the braid tied beneath his face. So let's keep going. So the producers said that Martin's reasoning that fans cared about Sansa, not Jane Poole, was also the reason why they chose Sansa to marry Ramsay.
Makes fucking Peter look like an idiot.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh. What is it? Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Valerian, thou art a prophet. Let me breeze through that. Okay, Brian Cogman, you have this storyline with Ramsay. Do you have one of your leading ladies who is an incredibly talented actor we followed for 5 years and viewers love and adore do it? Or do you bring a new character in? You use the character that the audience is invested in. And then George R. R. Martin, my little finger would have never turned Sansa over to the Boltons ever. To specifically Ramsay ever. Oh my goodness.
My God. Get fucked, David Benioff.
I thought I remembered that line.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder how much of their
he has
shit
said
is
it. I
true.
guess like that was included in the list. Yeah, my little finger would have never turned Sansa over to Ramsay. Never. He's obsessed with her. Half the time he's
he thinks she's the daughter he never had.
He never had that he wishes he had if he married Catelyn. Half the time he thinks she is Catelyn and wants her for himself. He's not going to give her to somebody who would do bad things to her. That's going to be very different in the books. Oh my goodness. And about 10 other people highlighted that part. Wow.
Yeah. I knew he'd say that.
Someone please, would you please stop that?
What's someone doing?
Yeah, please.
Mr. White is clicking his gun.
What?
Please stop.
I haven't been clicking for a long time. What are you talking about?
No, that was me. I was clapping.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so, our Brian Cogman, our Littlefinger is a bit more brazen than the backroom dealer in the books. Not to say that one is better than the other.
Brazen?
Well, what is better than the other?
No.
Our Littlefinger's more brazen? Is that what
A
he said?
bit more brazen. Yeah, he said our Littlefinger is a bit more brazen. Let me.
Does he know what brazen means? Does brazen mean stupid?
I guess so.
Apparently.
One
in their little fucking world, it does.
Not that one better than the other. And Ramsay's not known everywhere as a psycho. Yeah, in the show.
Littlefinger would know.
If anybody, Varys or Littlefinger, would know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Well, I don't. It's kind of debatable because you don't really. Because it seems as though he's a bastard, and bastards aren't usually people of note. And it seems like Ramsay has, at least in the show, doesn't let his messed up tendencies out as much as he does in the books. In the books, he's renowned as the bastard of Bolton.
Well, even in the show, there's people flayed. He's got people flayed out on the outside of the castle, doesn't he?
Which, actually, yeah.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You know what? I retract that statement. This doesn't make any sense within the context of the show because he's flayed a bunch of people that would probably be still up there. So, yeah, that's really bad. It's really bad.
Stop putting logic into this. Incoherent juvenile shit is for this.
Happens when people empty their pockets to see it and things explode.
And then finger and the audacity.
The audacity.
Stop making logic happen.
The audacity if you try to put logic into things done. How dare you?
Yeah.
How do you say certain things?
Logic is for lamers anyway, if you ask me.
Hashtag logic is gay.
Who needs it?
That's why season 8's the bestest ever.
Yeah. So Littlefinger doesn't have that intelligence on him, meaning spy intelligence on him. He just knows the Boltons are scary and creepy and not to be fully trusted. Okay, David Benioff. The interesting thing about Littlefinger is he seems to have almost no weaknesses aside from his affection for Sansa. He's been obsessed with her. You can see he's got an unhealthy interest in her since that early episode at the Joust. But as much as Littlefinger might care for Sansa, he cares nothing more than power and sees this as an opportunity to gain more power.
How does he
gain this power? This is another example of David Benioff not understanding the characters.
Yeah.
The audacity was for saying Littlefinger in the show is more brazen than the books.
How does he get more power by handing over Sansa so he doesn't have control over her, so he can't ransom her or use her for
There are a few weirdos that say that it's because he wants to be able to bring people up from the Vale to take the North away from the Boltons, and that he's using Cersei
Sansa.
He's utilizing Sansa as a ploy to make it so that Cersei will make him Warden of the North, but even that doesn't make any sense.
Mysteriously, Littlefinger left the capital on the day that Joffrey was murdered.
No, he was gone. He was not in the capital long before that, actually. He came back to the capital right as it was happening. So,
and then he was not seen again.
No, they actually don't suspect him because, he is far away, and for all they know, he's far away in the Eyrie while this is happening. So, but yeah, he's behind at least a large section of it. He probably provided the poison. He provided the poison. Olenna dropped it in the goblet, I think. Oblets. That's how it is. So, Alfie Allen, there's a common theme of both Sansa and Theon's storylines leaving Winterfell and having these grand illusions of these illusions of grandeur.
So
that stop trying to make sense happen. It's not going to happen.
Stop.
That explanation hurt my brain. The alcohol isn't working.
Well, that's just how bad these people are.
Becca, you want to? Here's a alcohol that will work. Absinthe. Good luck.
So
I wish I could drink. I'm a corpse.
So
fuck you.
Theon thought he was going to become the Prince of the Ironborn. Sansa thought she'd be queen. And then they both ended up back at Winterfell. The show's writers, along with director Jeremy Podeswa, discussed how best to handle Sansa's wedding night. On the production schedule breakdown, the scene was called Romance Dies. Wow. That's one word for it.
Oh boy.
I now want to see these performances, these faces. We're getting to it, folks.
We certainly are.
It gets better.
I'm so excited right now. I'm about to fall asleep.
Oh yeah, I can hardly wait for the PTF moment.
Anything?
Dang it. Why'd you mention sleep? Now you make me sleepy.
Okay, so here's how. Okay, Brian Cogman. The way we work. Okay, so now they're discussing the writers' room. Oh my god.
Oh, the writers' room.
How dare you make me feel bad for Sansa? I hate Sansa. That's funny. The way that we work is that David and Dan chose the episodes they want to write, and Dave Hill and I, i.e. Brian Cogman, get to pick the pick of the rest. I could have had poor Dave write it, but I felt a responsibility to Sophie. I felt and feel protective of her. I wanted to make it sensitively handled, and I knew I would be the producer on set if I wrote it. Aha.
Oh, can you imagine if that was the safest one? Can you imagine what Jeff would have done?
Oh gosh, if David and well, no, it's David and Dan got their pick first, so they said we are not handling this. It's just shove it off on the interns, quite literally.
Yeah,
they had no choice but to do it.
So David and Dan didn't want to they wanted to wash their hands of it so as to get less blame for it. We blamed them anyway, though.
They knew. It's like they knew.
Everything in this show is because of them.
Yeah.
So originally the pitch in the room was that Ramsay takes her arm and we just shut the door. I made the argument that if we didn't take it just a bit further and stay with her and Theon's point of view a bit longer, and get the enormity of what's happening, then we're doing a disservice to the story and to the subject matter.
What?
No, I think we get it. We don't need to. We don't need to linger around.
Back up.
But you're fucking wrong! You're so fucking wrong! You're wrong! You're lying!
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
If you get shit-faced enough, then it will always work.
Yeah, I don't have that option. I choose not to take it. Anyway. Okay, so Jeremy Podeswa. I actually feel really bad for Jeremy Podeswa. He got saddled with the Sansa rape and the Doran subplot, specifically the fight in the Water Gardens.
Oh,
oh dear.
Lovely.
Which is one of the worst shot sequences in the show.
It's one of the worst fight scenes.
So none of us went to that sequence lightly. We fully understand the audience was very invested in Sansa and seen her grow up. This was something that would be shocking, and we were all aware of that. When filming season 5, Turner was trigger warning.
What?
Adders.
The avatar, specifically the like David Benioff and D.B. Weiss's avatars. Let's see. So I thought okay, when filming season 5, Turner was excited about that scene as it presented a dramatic turn for her character and provided an acting challenge. Alex Grace was saying, "You got a love interest," she said at the time. So I got this.
Shut up.
I was excited, and I was flicking through, and then I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" I thought my love interest was going to be Jaime Lannister or somebody who would take care of me. Then I found out it was Ramsay and back in Winterfell. I love the fact that she's back home reclaiming what's hers. At the same time, she's being held prisoner in her own home. Yeah, don't crack rape jokes. Don't crack.
I patient to answer your
Don't do
question.
that to kids.
Yeah.
Well, she's technically a teenager at this point, but yeah.
Well,
my patient
yeah.
to answer your question.
High and mighty.
It is a lot.
It's freaking. Actually, no, I can't even say that. It's freaking heroic to face his craft sword. Yeah. It would be more amusing if I were drunk, but I'm honestly scared to death of liver cirrhosis, so I'm not interested. I felt so bad for it, but I was felt excited because it was so sick. It was so sick. Interesting. And being reunited with Theon too, having their relationship seeing how the relationship plays out. It was a really challenging season for her because it was very emotional. She really liked getting her teeth in those scenes. It was emotional, terrifying, but she loved doing them. If you can start with the uncomfortable and make the audience feel that, that's great. The filming of the sequence at least did not have the darkly intense mood backstage that one might have expected. Interesting. Roose Bolton's actor Michael McElhatton. The wedding on the show, Alfie was sniffing and dribbling and crying, and Sophie was practically crying and shaking, and I was glowing and smiling. It was so Machiavellian, so dark and so horrific in what we were doing to Alfie and Sophie that it tipped into laughter on a number of occasions. Interesting.
It must have been a riot.
My biggest drunk moment is fell asleep on a table, but that was also morning classes at college.
I would hate to fall asleep on the helm.
So we were very careful about the way it was shot. We were very careful that Sophie was very careful with everything. She understood the complexity of it, what was happening, and the horror of it, but she was never in a situation where she was made uncomfortable. Alfie Allen, I knew that there was going to be a huge reaction to that, and I thought that everyone did a fantastic job. It was a horrible day to shoot. Ewan was having a hard time with it, but Jeremy smashed it. Sophie was amazing, and the way she handled it was admirable. It was pretty light between takes. From the bedroom scene, Ramsay bent Sansa over the bed and tore the back of her dress. Then the camera cut to an emotionally wrecked Theon for a protective moment as he was forced to watch.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
The filmmakers wanted and expected an emotional reaction for viewers, but they were stunned when the episode generated an unprecedented amount of uproar. You also forgot to mention the Jaime Cersei botched sex scene in the Septa Baylor.
They kind of forgot.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about that because they don't want to admit that it was basically like our director is an idiot. He didn't frame this properly, and so it is framed in such a way that even though there are like things in it that do make it look like it's consensual, but the problem is she's saying no a lot more. She doesn't say yes throughout that entire scene. So the fact that she is saying no, even though she's grabbing him and kissing him back, it makes it look like rape.
Yeah, the lady says no.
Yeah, the lady, and it's just weird because he defended and said it's not supposed to be rape even in the script, and even in the film, he pauses and finds moments in it, but the problem is they're blinking, you miss it, and the camera cuts away just as that's happening.
Yeah, if you wanted to make it absolutely clear that it wasn't rape, then the camera should have stayed there another minute or so.
And don't ever say no.
Or even 5 more seconds, it would have worked.
And the big problem, and that's a big problem. That was a much bigger controversy, and like Lena and Jay and Nikolai, the actors playing them, like said, like, I am very sorry. Like, I understand, like, we understand that this is like a really sensitive topic, but we were not told this. It's not written that way in the script, and we weren't told to play it like that. We're very sorry, but we're not. They don't really play it like that. And the weirdest thing was, Mr. Benioff, using his weasel words, tried to defend it when a fan asked him about it, like, and how it affected the character arc of the characters, and he was like it creatively it made sense to us. It was a rough day on set because Lena Headey, like, she becomes Cersei. I need to clip that because it's terrible.
Yeah.
I need to clip. Yeah, it's just.
No, Nihilus, we need you. So
yeah. So, Jamie Pedeswa, we were taken aback by the reaction. We knew people would be upset, but not so specifically in the way it manifested. From the reaction, you would imagine the scene was explicit and insensitive. You invented a rape subplot and shoved a character into it when she had actual material that she had not that you threw out because you wanted these performances, these faces.
No, you're wrong, Don. What are you talking about? You're not a writer. What are you talking about? You're not a fucking Game of Thrones $1 billion fucking TV show, man.
Yeah. Have you directed any $1 billion TV shows, Mr. Don? Have you? Yes or no?
Opinion. That's just
that's just your subjective opinion.
That's
everything is subjective. Didn't you know that, Don?
Yeah, it's an
opinion. That's an opinion.
So your opinion's subjective. So
he has a Dragon Blasters fan and begging him to make Dragon Blasters do an anime.
That's just your opinion.
They really want that. I'm working on it, and you can see my progress. I put the progress in. I told you how much I have currently 51 out of 80 pages that are
trigger warning.
51 out of 80 pages that are edited. Now I have to get mine out at some point. You see virtually nothing of the scene. You see the beginning of something happen, and then you cut away. It was unthinkable to actually show what was happening. Focusing on Theon's face for the final scene's 20 seconds as Sansa's presence was specifically cited as promoting the male gaze. What?
Wait, what?
What?
The fuck?
What?
What? What's that?
I'm sorry, Done? Done? What did you put in my water?
What is that?
Oh my god, we got blue. He got blue screened. He got blue screen, everybody.
Yeah, it's like.
What did you put in this coffee? I didn't see that. That didn't happen. That couldn't have.
Yeah, I couldn't have seen that. Hit yourself, please, Don. I feel like I misheard you.
Say what again?
Say what again?
DMB must be so bad and in bed, considering what they consider passionate sex. Kind of sorry for your wives.
Yeah.
Don, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so.
Here we go.
Okay, so let me.
This is not reality. We don't live in reality anymore. If this is true.
The term. Okay, so focusing on Theon's face for scene's final 20 seconds, which these performances, these faces, ding, as Sansa's heard off camera, was specifically cited as promoting the male gaze, a term used to describe art that focuses on a man's perspective while women are portrayed as
I thought you said the male gaze. I'm like, what the fuck does that even
What do you think it means?
Guys, Jaws locked in this about a cringe I just witnessed.
Where's my cliff?
Try to get your car and driving to the coast of England. There's your answer.
I don't think that's that's not the problem. I don't think
the male gaze.
Okay, so keeping going. Some lady named Nina Bahadur. Okay, that sounds like Bahadur, which is actually kind of funny. Lindsay Ellis has entered the chat. No, Lindsay Ellis has entered this video, but I think that it just seems as though like they're paying this feels like an apology note to the woke people because they're trying to get some sympathy points back.
The male gaze. Sorry, it's just so
it's very pseudo woke though.
Well, to answer your question, Horatio, penetration gaze is when you penetrate.
Never mind.
Penetration.
Never mind that.
What is penetrating gaze, Dad? Oh man.
Well, it's very simple, Horatio. To penetrate is a very delicate procedure.
Hey, as the smallest of the trio, I was always the one who got penetrated the most.
Let's move right along. Right along.
Where is it's what, a 40-minute drive to the nearest coast? I can make that. I can end this.
Yeah, find a very high cliff face on the coast and just keep going forward.
Yeah.
So,
I wish these
welcome
two
to
would
our
take
stream,
a long
everybody.
walk off a short pier.
Yeah.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
Yeah.
iCard giving iCard.
Performances, these faces.
So, encouraging the viewers to feel sympathy for Greyjoy rather than the young woman being violently raped was a woefully misguided choice, reviewer wrote. The filmmakers thought cutting to Theon was the least exploitative, yet the most dramatic and visual way to convey the horror of what Sansa was experiencing.
What a fucking stupid line.
Yeah. Okay, Brian comment. What bothered me about any criticism of David and Dan was a presumption of bad faith on their part.
What was that?
Bad faith on their part. Oh, where have we heard of that?
Okay, so what was that again?
Okay,
Bad
Brian
faith.
Okay, Brian Cogman. What bothered me was about any criticism about David and Dan was bad faith on their part. The idea that David and Dan or I or George or any of us were playing fast and loose with these characters that we love and have lived with and have lost sleep.
Oh,
a heck of a
sure.
lot more than anyone else has.
Fuck
you.
You invented a rape scene, you fucking retard. What the fuck what is this piece of shit?
Is also nowhere to be found in this film.
Yeah, we care about these characters, but we just invented this rape scene for no fucking reason.
Yeah, it's just.
What we two can do, you and me and you. Buck yourself up, don't look so stupid in my master plan.
This is dumb!
Tell me
It can't be for real! It can't be! No movie could possibly be this stupid! It has to be a dream sequence or...
Butterflies and...
What the hell am I even looking at?
Yeah, well, what movie is that?
That's a good question.
That would be Secret of Nim 2, one of the worst sequels to a good movie I've ever seen.
Secret of what?
Secret of Nim 2, Timmy's Adventure.
Oh no, that sounds really...
It's
explicit.
It's a direct-to-DVD animated movie.
Oh, no.
When they still did those.
Yeah.
They don't do those anymore.
Yeah.
Which
You
is
know what?
kind of dumb.
I wanna, well, now they just do Tinkerbell movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one of the reasons we cut over to Theon so that it would not be graphic. Then that was criticized. I understood that criticism when thinking about it. I still understand our reasons for doing it. Jeremy Podeswa.
Fuck you.
I understand the issue around the male gaze.
Oh, fuck off! Looking at a good-looking woman.
This book is so deep, man.
The male gaze.
So deep.
I'm gonna start going to the gym 4 times a week. Probably wise. Told you. Yeah, the critics idiots and not understand the genius of D&D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to go grab the sword.
So
yes.
I'm already ahead of you, Wolf.
So, it doesn't. We're just saying that this is illogical and stupid. That it really, you are playing fast and loose with the characters. You just like seeing
people perform their faces like it's some kind of fucking Pornhub shit for you or something.
Yeah, it's like
face porn.
Deliberately hearing the male gaze as the male gaze makes it more bearable.
It's the male gaze. You're turning all the males gay.
The males are gay. Males gay. I ain't gonna lie, when I was in film study school at studies class at school, every time the teacher said the male gaze, it took 10 minutes for us to recover.
I'm not the only one that gets.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. I've watched enough Lindsay Ellis videos to understand what the male gaze is, and I'm just like, the male gaze is
what the fuck is the male gaze?
It's men looking at women.
Basically, it's kind of the idea that women have the power to look. It's basically like the idea that in certain types of art, the male the gaze or the eyesight of the eye line of the male is prioritized.
Newsflash: it's not only men that look at good-looking women.
Well, I think
that's just because women won't look at good-looking women. The nice men won't look at good-looking men.
It's really stupid. And let me see the male gaze. Male gaze definition. So the definition of the male gaze is the perspective of a notionally typical heterosexual man considered as embodied in the audience or the intended audience for films and other visual media, characterized by a tendency to objectify and sexualize women.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So,
fair enough.
AKA a novel.
Doesn't really apply to this book, to this show, though.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so in feminist, in feminist theory, the male gaze is the act of depicting women and the world in the visual arts and in literature from a masculine heterosexual perspective that presents and represents women as sexual objects for the pleasure of the heterosexual male viewer. So it's like the sex fantasy type thing.
So what about the woman? What about the female gaze?
What about the lesbians? People like looking at attractive people. It's not.
Yeah,
it does exist. I mean, it
Stop
does exist,
breaking the narrative, Neph. Damn it.
It's really, it's
narrative.
It's
If,
it's like
my mother breaks the narrative just by breathing.
So the visual and aesthetic presentations of narrative cinema, the male gaze has 3 perspectives: that of the man behind the camera, the male characters within the film's presentation, and the spectator gazing at the image.
Oh, fuck off!
Yeah, I'm with this. There is no with this doesn't have that's exactly right. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, that is not the case. That's not applicable to this.
Yeah,
this is not applicable to this. Sansa's not really being objectified.
I'm sorry, it's like what?
Via the camera, nor in the she's just being put through something terrible.
They probably didn't look up the definition before they wrote that.
Yeah.
Which means that we've put more effort, we've put more thought into what the expression means than they did when they put it in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so it's about objectification, really. Think about that's exactly right. Or like it just like, even though like technically Megan Fox's character is the best written thing in the movie, she actually has an arc. She actually has like motivations and stuff as opposed to Sam Witwicky.
Who has no reason to do anything really?
Yeah, it's like it's not about the female body anyway. It has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
So they're using expressions to seem woke and educated, and that is such photosynthesis, and that is such
they're not woke at all.
No, they are literal nihilists. Like Ryan Johnson, is kind of a post-modernist nihilist, so he's not fully a nihilist.
Even
in some things, these two believe in nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They don't know what believing means, perhaps.
No, they don't.
I think we're in like a dark and bleak situation. Stories. Never mind. That'd be a tangent. That's something I can talk about another day.
Yeah. So, from a storytelling view, the scene was very strong. I also think, from a performance point of view, it was really strong. Again,
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
TPTF.
The filmmakers also
The
wonder.
2 pieces, 2 fucks.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, they believe in that, but they don't believe in any political structures or movements. They just believe in making money and winning Emmys. That's all they care about.
So they just care. So pride and greed. That's 2 sins off the 7 deadly sins list.
Yep.
Lust. Yeah, let's go with lust. Yeah.
Okay, so they just need now envy. Sloth.
I imagine Benioff totally envies both his dad and George R. R. Martin because he knows they're both better than him.
Okay, so Benioff has 4 of the 7 deadly sins. He just needs, what was the 7 deadly sins?
Gluttony, sloth, and
wrath.
Yeah.
Well, he has gluttony. He drinks a lot.
Okay, so 5 out of the 7.
Did we get pride yet?
Oh yes, he's got pride.
He just needs to be the case there is negligence. He already gets sloth.
Yeah, he is slothful. He's like a bratty teenager in an adult's body with the mentality of a lazy college freshman who just throws together something at the last minute.
And all we need is just wrath, and then we complete the 7 deadly sins list.
You know what? He gets peeved frequently when you ask him wait, why is there so many rapes? Yeah, yes, why are there there was this interview asked said this senator said she's gonna stop watching the show because of the number of rapes in it, and he just says in a deadpan voice, well, we have somehow survived Senator McCaskill's defection, and if she doesn't want to watch it, there's the nice thing is about our day and age is that there's several hundred syndicated shows that she can watch instead.
And there's the bit where Ian McElkinney complained and they wanted to kill him off even more. Does that count?
I think that would.
Okay, so by technicality, he fills out the 7 deadly sins list.
Lovely.
Now, what does that mean when somebody fills all 7 sins?
I have no idea.
They're pretty sinful.
Oh,
they are very sinful.
Did they get an award? Did they get a cigar or something?
Okay, so the filmmakers also wondered if there would have been less protest if viewers had known the rest of Sansa's journey in advance, just as book readers had known about the Red Wedding and other traumatic twists.
Wait, what? That doesn't even make any sense. What?
That's
not even the same story.
We We did follow her journey before then.
She's in. Okay, so here. Okay. Martin's readers often defend a tragic story moves online after they aired on the show because they had clear sense of how such events keep the story moving forward. This is a very different.
Yeah, this is
very different. This is something you made up.
I'm done looking what Becca said.
They got 7 stickers and they're trying to pat my head from seeing. That kind of makes them sound human. Don't do that to me. Do not humanize them.
Yeah,
you know what?
no.
Let's go with that. Yeah, but it's just they were less protest if they had known about it in advance. So they're basically relying on Watchers on the Wall, the Watchers on the Wall shell site to make it so that they don't get criticized because Watchers on the Wall are bought and paid for shills. We did know about Sansa's. It was in the books. Yes.
It was in the books, you lemons.
Yeah.
In the what? In the what? In the what? I'm sorry. You're not confusing me now.
Yeah, they didn't make they don't actually they don't. They kind of just breeze over and just say like our little finger's different. And then like proceed to say to have George R. R. Martin say, well, my little finger would never do this. He's obsessed with Sansa. And then even David Benioff saying like he cares about Sansa, but he really cares about power. It's just that's why he did. It's just
and he's more brazen. He's more brazen in the show.
That's not what brazen means.
Stop bringing sense into it, or logic, or whatever.
It's stop bringing logic into any movie. Random incoherent shit. How other people empty their wallets to see it.
Yeah.
It's a choice between accurate and writing a good story. What can you do? Brazen, the audaciousness.
I will hunt you down and kill you.
Okay.
Friendly.
Whether you know about a certain plot point that does not change its execution or effect in the story. This is so stupid.
Yeah. Okay. So I've looked up brazen. Did we do that already?
Brazen just means bold.
Yeah.
It just means, like,
shameless or impudent too.
Yeah, like
or
shameless.
made of brass.
Yeah.
Yeah, like women who wear too little clothing and go out in public and
how brazen.
Smoke and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. So producers say that the Lady of Winterfell's triumphant turn in the later seasons was always the show's secret plan and not, as some speculated, a reaction they're waiting up for.
Oh no!
What was that sound?
Oh. Okay, so the producers say that Sansa's triumphant turn in the later seasons was the show's secret plan.
Wow, that was such a great plan.
Oh, really?
I call yeah.
I think it's time for that one. The survey says.
That's what I thought.
Snore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Survey says. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
What even is sense anymore?
We need to use
I
that
have
one
no
more
idea.
often. That makes absolutely no sense. We haven't been using that one enough.
Not the sound of silence for sure. Not the sound. Must be the sound of frustration. Oh, goody. Yeah. So Brian Cogman.
Your brain's not the only one that hurts, Johan. Yeah, I don't know how this book got published.
Does anyone have a brain anymore?
I don't. I have a brain.
How on
It's
earth
always-
did this book get published? Yeah. David Bennett, like, Game of Thrones sells, and also they wanted to, have
Kill
like,
themselves
say,
financially.
Wish back, like say, is it too late now to say sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they actually say sorry?
No, I meant not. So Brian Cogman keeps justifying by saying, we knew where we were going with Theon and Sansa for the next 3,4 seasons. The viewer didn't know that. And the nature of the criticism these days is reactive. You write something as you're experiencing it for the first time, and then you publish. Once you have experienced the full arc, the reasoning behind the scene made more sense.
Not necessarily, though.
Yeah. Survey says that's what I thought.
All of this is
Yeah.
just freaking bullshit.
Because sometimes my judgment's actually actually more severe after I've thought it over.
So, Mr. Balerian, explain why. Explain to the viewers who have not seen the show nor read the books why Sansa's arc in the TV show is utterly asinine. You have the floor.
Oh God. Well, because rape empowers her, supposedly, and
It's that rape fuse or some shit. I don't
rape
know.
empowers her, and also the whole thing we mentioned earlier that Littlefinger wouldn't have sent her off to the Boltons because he would know that Ramsay was a. And then there's also the fact that she didn't actually save Jon in the Battle of the Bastards. She just asked Littlefinger to do it for her, and she didn't tell Jon. And so there's a whole long list of things that are asinine about it.
The last jeer and the ruse of scam maker.
Yeah. I think another part is like they tried to portray it like Sansa has like arisen like the Phoenix, but the problem is she doesn't really do
work.
It's not earned. It's not earned because even when she outsmarts Littlefinger, it's only because Bran tells her he's omniscient.
Yeah.
And that's not even stated. That's implied. That's implied. That's not even.
Ooh, the next paragraph. It's David Benioff trying to be like whining and being defensive.
Okay, good.
Okay, so David Benioff, that was the thing that was slightly frustrating, was the idea that we were responding to the criticism and beefed up female roles. That's blatantly untrue.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, this podcast is over. They're retards. This is over. We don't need to do this anymore. It's done. We're done. We're done. Why are we here?
The rise. Weird blip. Yeah.
Blatantly untrue.
We can take criticism, and certainly we've gotten our share of it. But what happened later was not a response. So he's basically saying our choices were our own. We weren't responding anything. Sawed off. Wow.
I
like how everything changed after like season 4. After the wedding, they just got their
The chat. I'm done. The chat is done.
Well, good.
Yeah.
This is madness.
This is madness.
You're done. You are all me, for I am the one true. And
Hold on there. Hold on.
Are we the board?
John, did you say that you fathered all the people in the chat?
Did you assimilate us, Dunn?
Yeah, apparently.
No, Dunn. No, asking a real question here. Did Dunn father everybody in the chat?
He's not old enough.
He's a vampire. He has to be.
I'm only 25. And
I know.
I don't buy you.
25 millennia.
That works. Oh, yay. We get virtue signaling in the next bit.
Oh, fuck off.
Great. So, Sophie Turner, everybody was just sympathetic. I've had more "you're my favorite character" than ever before, which was amazing because before I used to get "you're my least favorite character." Critics of the scene counter that the victorious outcome of Sansa's storyline didn't address their primary concerns. Actress Jessica Chastain made headlines by tweeting about the scene, "Rape is not a tool to make a character stronger. A woman doesn't need to be victimized in order to become a butterfly."
On one hand, yes, but on the other, god damn it, phrase these things better!
I think they actually paraphrase it because I remember, like, she specifically like tweeted a thing where Sophie Turner was sitting on the Iron Throne, and said like the little bird didn't need to be raped to become a phoenix or something like that. Somebody find that and pull it up, as it's pertinent. So Slate's Inku Kang wrote, "There's something brashly truthful about season 1's reminder that royal wombs, like the throne womb scene." Ooh, that reminds me. We need to do Wit and Folly sometime.
What?
Oh,
that was random.
Because she has this she has this video where she says there's a bunch of metaphorical wombs in The Last Jedi.
Metaphorical wombs. Fuck.
Yeah, apparently the throne room fight scene is like all red, and it's apparently the sexiest scene in all of Star Wars.
And then there's that cave mouth that looks like a head.
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about The Last Jedi. I fell asleep.
Yeah, let's keep going. So royal wombs have been historically considered currency. No, don't do. Well,
okay. All right then. I'll give you this bit of grade, but I'm gonna need at least 20 royal wombs, if you would.
Yeah. Which one? Do you want Cersei's womb or Marjorie's womb?
Neither.
Marjorie, easy.
Yeah, Marjorie's better.
Yeah, go with Marjorie, or out of those two, yeah.
Marjorie or go home.
Yeah, or Marjorie, Daenerys, or
that one.
No,
she already did things to me in the fucking underneath the Marines pyramid. I don't want to anymore.
Okay. Is this good Danny or bad Danny?
This is she did things to me underneath that pyramid.
So dehumanization of women can attach to them considered collateral damage, as well as season 2's candor via Cersei during Battle of the Blackwater that women's bodies are considered spoils in wartime. In its inspirational and sympathetic modes for its female characters, Game of Thrones could be powerful storytelling. Period. But sexual assault is a storyline or spectacle that the show's never gotten right. No, it didn't. And you forgot to mention the Craster's Keep storyline where, like, you added rape scenes where dudes literally just going to town on this poor girl. Poor women.
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, Craster's Keep. I forgot about that. That also makes the White Walkers look not like robots that just kill things for no reason.
Yeah.
Murder. Seriously, the Warriors Chaos more motivation to kill.
Yeah. Because rape, or the threat thereof, is used as an instrument to get from point A to point B rather than as an event as its focal point. Thank you, Mr. Inku Kang. I don't know whether it's a guy or girl.
Boo.
It doesn't say. Cogman, for many, the scene will never work and they'll never like it. Nope. But the scene led to a larger cultural conversation that I think was very important.
Did it really?
No!
Survey says? That's what I thought.
Cultural, what? I'm totally blanked out and I'm like,
the scene of Sansa's rape led to a larger cultural conversation that he thinks was very important.
No!
What?
No.
Oh,
This book is getting
No.
worse. This book is getting
Oh,
worse.
So
fuck
people
that.
weren't talking about the issue of assault before then? Is that what they're claiming?
No, I
Something
guess
like
so.
that, maybe?
Are
Yeah.
you high?
They might
Maybe
as
once.
well be.
They've been. I mean, people have been talking about that for like decades.
The classic. It led to a conversation. That's
But
a
did it?
giant. No, it's just saying this was stupid and this was poorly handled. It led to a conversation. It led to a conversation is one of the biggest cop outs.
Yeah, and rape is not something you put in your work lightly.
Yeah,
You don't.
you have to be very, very careful about it.
Yes.
Like George R. R. Martin handles it like with reasonable delicacy. He doesn't make you watch it like on the
No.
page.
It's
he skips away. He will go up to the moment, and then he will cut away. He'll
Yeah.
show the aftermath.
Or refer to it after the event.
Yeah. Like I'm planning on having a sex under false pretenses moment in one of the upcoming books this year, but I haven't written it yet. I know what's going to happen, and it's basically like she is blackmailed into doing it when she thinks it's somebody else, and then it's found out that, oh crap, it wasn't this person because he was with this person. So I need to be very, very careful about how I do it, because I have to portray it in a specific way, and I'm not having just a brutal dude forces himself on a woman, because honestly that's not often how it is. More often than not, it's date rape, especially in medieval times. So, well, actually, the violent rape was more common in medieval times, but this is kind of like tastefully, at least somewhat tastefully doing something that's like a difficult topic to cover, and at least I think that's a decently good way of doing something like that.
Yeah, because you have to be careful of who's going to be reading it.
Yeah. So, okay. So the broader discussion focused on depiction of violence against women in Hollywood productions in general, as well as Thrones in particular. It was a topic that circled the show ever since Daenerys' wedding night in the season premiere. It was likewise a growing topic in media circles, as TV critics called out dramas for showing sexual violence in ways they felt was exploitative or unnecessary. Martin, Benioff, and Weiss could conjure dragons, but in a world in which men could be the targets of female desire, but not in a world in which men could be I don't understand that. Okay, so could conjure dragons, but not in a world in which men could be targets. Oh, so they're referring to the female gaze. Oh, okay, I guess. Wrote Esquire's Gabriel Burney in 2019. They brought White Walkers to terrifying life, but couldn't consider sexual assault as anything other than a provocative plot point. This failure has thrown a pall over 7 seasons of otherwise great television. That was the only thing. It's one thing, but there's way more.
We have a nice little list.
Yeah. From rape season book. Yeah, it's you have to be very careful. Even Mark Lawrence, who is kind of the grimmest of grimdark, he doesn't show Jorg Ankrath, a 14-year-old sociopath, raping anyone. He just says he did it. He doesn't.
Yeah. You do not go into detail.
You don't. That's like Eli Roth. Eli Roth, I've never seen any of his movies, but just from what I've heard, he's basically this gross 13-year-old in an adult's body trying to shock the audience with the worst things that you could possibly think of. yeah, like cannibalism and stuff.
Lovely.
Okay, and this Paul is a sin that limits the show's watchability in future years as audiences tolerate less and less chauvinism in their entertainment. Okay, I don't think that's the biggest thing that makes the show's watchability die. It's the fact that the writing quality is crap. It makes no sense. Like, you ruin the character arcs for multiple characters.
And you kill characters physically, and mentally.
And morally.
Morally, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Thrones Insider felt one reason for their show received such criticism, ironically, because they had so successfully created and evolved so many strong female characters in the first place. Oh, come on.
Who?
No!
Okay, so let me reread that. So it received the criticism because they'd evolved so many strong female characters that the fact that one was assaulted created the criticism. No.
Martin invented strong female characters, did they?
Yeah, they didn't. They bastardized many of his female characters, like the
and destroyed one of them.
Yeah, bastardized.
In particular.
Yeah, survey says. That's what I thought.
This makes no bleeping sense.
Yeah, that makes
absolutely no sense.
It's like just.
There were so many levels of what the fuckery.
Yes.
You need to use that one more often too.
Yeah. Yeah. What is this?
Really feel that's not balanced.
No, Kane is fucking ass. Boo!
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
so, Dany, Cersei, Brienne, Arya, and Sansa had all become pop culture icons with their own dedicated and protective fan bases. Each was fully realized and nothing like the other, as well as being unlike any other characters on TV. So, which one? Please tell me. No, you're not old. That's fine. No, you're fine. Just which one? Like so most of the ones I used in the last minute were from the first viewing of Freddy Got Fingered by Channel Awesome, where they are.
I think you need to use a couple of Dragons clips.
Oh, like
this.
Where the fuck was that?
And this, and 3, 2, 1, and
yeah.
And the iTunes holiday gift giving thing.
Yeah.
Right about now.
You pompous, negligent iTunes gift card as a holiday bonus giving mother.
Okay, I was BSing, but my God, I timed it perfectly.
Yeah, you actually did. But yeah, they used the rape conversation as a shield to not address the plot made no sense, and they ruined Sansa's character as well as making Littlefinger look like an idiot. Yeah, precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see, where is... Yeah, it's just...
I mean, it's just asinine.
Yes.
What was
Thank you, Molly.
Yeah.
You're unhappy with the ending. No, I question your basic writing credentials. This guy isn't a functional adult.
He's really not.
Yeah, he's a genius. Yeah, the Dragon Demands is a photosynthetic genius, yeah. Yeah, good old Dragon Demands, yep.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
iTunes thing is a keeper.
Yes. It's
Okay,
like
so
he needs a Dragon Rages channel.
yeah.
So he can go
Well,
off.
I think maybe he just kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is indeed. He's the thing keeping us sane. Okay, you ready for some bull crap?
I've already suffered a lot of bull crap already.
Okay, so Michael Lombardo, David and Dan have never been two people who push nudity or sexual content to titillate or increase viewers.
What the?
What was that whole pitch about Game of Thrones again?
Yeah, I'm done. In about 5 seconds, put all up the nostalgia quick clip up. The survey says.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Survey says. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, I need to have the iTunes quote on a T-shirt. Yeah, but like two people that never put that they never pushed. They never pushed sexual content. Have we forgotten the I represent the perv side of the audience?
I think they have.
I kind of forgot that.
The I represent the perv side of the audience. Wow. That is a lie. That's yeah.
So great after all.
Yeah.
But you're fucking wrong! You're so fucking wrong! You're wrong! You're lying!
I just wow. Okay, so continuing with Marco Lombardo's quote. This was a show that had more kick-ass, unique female characters than anywhere in the television landscape. And so I think the reaction struck us as, oh, could we be more mindful of this? Let's learn from this and ask hard questions. I think it was partially because the show had become so successful and why they watched that began to draw viewers that came to the show for great drama, and it didn't feel right to them, and I understood that. And that it was wounding, and at the same time it started a conversation that we continue to have about how we deal with nudity and sex on screen.
That's it. That was a good thing.
Okay, they're starting conversations again. Let's see.
Isn't it great we're starting these conversations like,
It didn't amount to jack squat. They kept getting worse.
And worse and worse and worse.
But at least they started conversations in the process.
Yeah, really questionable questions about their ethics and shit.
Oh, gosh.
We're conversing right now. They started this conversation.
Why is there an entire chapter devoted to this 5-minute scene and not to Alexander Siddig being screwed over? Oh yeah, because you don't want to look, you want to appear to be transparent, but you don't want to
actually be transparent.
Yeah, you don't want to look like complete jackholes.
You want to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Which you can't really do.
No.
Yeah, just
at least not in real life. You can't have your cake and eat it.
Which is annoying.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
You can have 2 cakes and eat one, but you can't have your cake and eat it.
You know what? Just take a picture of the cake, put it on your wall, then you have it, and then you can eat it. There, I have cut the Gordian knot. I feel accomplished.
How dare you animal!
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Alrighty, so many of the scenes that provoked controversy also stemmed from a fundamental change faced by Game of Thrones showrunners: how to balance an authentic depiction of savage medieval times with the ideals of a modern television audience.
Medieval times weren't savage.
Kind of.
Depends. I do say that like more knights had more in common with Tony Soprano than Lancelot in terms of the fact that they would like mercilessly kill people.
Yeah, but there's plenty of merciless killing going on now.
That's true. Basically, humanity hasn't really changed that much in this time. We just got better at killing people.
Yay!
It's really fun.
So, how much should Game of Thrones reflect our world versus a fantasy realm based on Europe's Dark Ages with all its accompanying historical horrors, which Martin sought to illuminate? Other dramas in warlike settings, such as Star's Outlander, wrestle with the same issue. Turner told Rolling Stone in 19... Sophie Turner, okay, she thought that the backlisted scene was wrong, given the show is trying to stay true to its medieval inspiration. Oh my goodness.
Okay, okay. Well, not everyone in the Middle Ages raped people.
Yeah, depends on the knight.
Yeah, between knight and knight, you may have the more chivalrous knight try to be more like Lancelot, and then you have the knight that just wants to be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Several co-stars said that Thrones was sometimes unfairly criticized for its handling of female characters. Not the Sand Snakes. The Sand Snakes were handled very badly. They're like even like people like Lindsay Ellis like said she said Euron is the worst character ever. And then with a little asterisk at the bottom with the Sand Snakes on it. Okay, tied.
Well, at least he did us the favor of killing the Sand Snakes, so that brings him up some points.
Yeah. So, Gwendoline Christie, a lot of the show is inspired by actual historical events, and that's what occasionally occurred with the women. Women have been treated appallingly in history. Men have too.
Oh, that's their excuse.
Well, men have too. Human beings have. The show shines a light on women with an exploration of exploration. I almost saw it as exploitation of female characters. That's actually funny. The show shines a light on women on the portrayal exploration of female characters that has rarely been approached before, and I applaud that. Yes, these scenes are difficult, and they should be. Amelia Clark, it pained me to hear people taking Game of Thrones out of context and doing an anti-feminist spin. It showed the range that happened to women and depicted real scenarios. Ultimately, it showed that women were not only equal but had a huge amount of strength. It showed women in so many different stages of development, from having zero power to rights as women who, zero power or rights to women who are queens and are literally unstoppable.
Is this still Gwendoline Christie who's saying this stuff about
It's Amelia Clark saying from it pained me to hear people taking Game of Thrones out of context and doing an anti-feminist spin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back to the whole defending the existence of rape, not the treatment of it. Yeah, that's a big problem. Taking out, so Marjorie Tyrell, the female characters are three-dimensional, fleshed out, often anti-heroines as well as heroines. They're as contradictory and complex and contradictory as men are.
Do you not know what anti-hero means?
There are anti-heroines within the show, yeah. Like, I would say that Marjorie Tyrell is technically an anti-heroine.
But my question is more, who exactly are they referring to?
I think, like, Natalie Dormer is kind of saying in general, and she's an actress on the show, not a writer, which is weird. Like, Arya Stark is, for sure, an anti-heroine. Like, she's a 13-year-old, actually 12-year-old girl who kills a lot of people mostly for like her belief of justice.
No, she saw Jesus at the last second, so she's fine. She's like the bestest ever now.
Yeah.
She's bad.
She's bad.
Macabre storytelling has this thing. I'm not like, the macabre storytelling in this Arya rewrite. He has her saying, I'm not like other girls. I kill people. Isn't that cool? And then he says, no.
Yeah. No, it's not. So, in characterization, yes, Game of Thrones is completely feminist.
Game of Thrones is completely feminist. Who is saying that?
Coming from those two, they're probably really
Natalie Dormer, the lady who played Marjorie.
Yeah.
What might occasionally be lost sight of is that there's a lot of darker aspects of human nature in the real world. Physical violence, misogyny, rape are not fantastic issues. The reason Game of Thrones was such a strong show is because it's real. If you want pure escapism, that's fine, but then you probably should not be watching Game of Thrones.
But so what's the word I'm looking for? When you totally miss the point of the objections and you straw man. That's strawmanism.
Yeah, it's very much.
Huh?
Okay, so Maisie Williams, it's always a constant debate because women are treated badly in the show, but it's the same as the boys and the girls and the men and the animals. I get that people don't want to watch scenes like that, but that's the show we've made. I get upset when animals get slaughtered. People are like, this is worse than that, and I never understood it. I think everyone's allowed to be upset about what they're upset by. That sentence meant nothing. Oh man. Oh gosh. What? Bro. Though Martin wasn't on board with Season 5's changes to Sansa's storyline, the author has long defended the inclusion of sexual violence in A Song of Ice and Fire as a necessary story element. Oh, what? Oh.
I will hunt you down and kill you!
Oh, that hurt. Oh.
What a mess. I just had to step out. Sorry.
Okay, so Martin was not... Okay, so the sentence was... Though Martin wasn't on board with Season 5's changes to Sansa's storyline, the author has long defended the inclusion of sexual violence in his book series as a necessary story element. That's dodging the point. That is dodging the point. You idiot.
Hippity hoppity. It rules for thee, none for me.
Ugh.
What the fuck?
Oh,
that
man.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay, so the books reflect a patriarchal society in the Middle Ages. It's not a time of sexual egalitarianism. It is divided into 3 classes, and they had strong ideas of the roles of women. One of the charges brought against Joan of Arc that got her burned at the stake was that she wore men's clothing, which was not a small thing back then. There were, of course, strong, competent women. That didn't change the nature of the society they were in. There are people who will say to this, well, he's not writing history, he's writing fantasy. You put in dragons, he should have made it an egalitarian society. But just because you put in dragons doesn't mean that you can put in anything you want. I wanted my books to be strongly grounded in history and show what medieval society was like. I was reacting to a lot of fantasy, what a lot of fantasy was like. They do what I like to call the Disneyland Middle Ages. Princes and princesses and knights in shining armor, but they don't want real consideration of what the society meant and how they functioned. Thank you. I don't know what this book is.
Yeah, we've asked that since the beginning of the series we did.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
It's a philosophical conundrum.
Yeah, because a lot of this has some really damning stuff in it, but now he's gone. Now that the bad seasons have started happening, he's going into full shill mode. Okay, so to be non-sexist, does that mean that you need to betray an egalitarian society? That's not our history. That's something for science fiction. Even 21st century America is not egalitarian. There are still barriers against women.
Oh, good lord.
That's
does he have points
here?
No.
So even 20. Okay, so he's just moving on from that point.
Well, I guess we can dismiss that then, if he's not going to say anything about it.
He just says there are still barriers to women. Then he says, then there's the whole issue of sexual violence. But if you're going to write about war,
This is whataboutisms, isn't it?
Okay, so
Yes.
Lauren, I think the guys on Bloody Williams now said,
well,
still think it's a
technically
disguised hate piece.
well, technically this is still George R. R. Martin talking. That even like 21st century is an egalitarian. Like he's kind of right there, I guess, to a certain extent.
He is definitely right.
Yeah, he is right.
It's less that there are barriers and more things that women just cannot do.
Mm-hmm. And there's the whole issue about sexual violence. If you're going to write about war, which is what he's writing about, and what almost all epic fantasy about, you just want the cool battles and heroes killing a lot of orcs, and doesn't portray sexual violence. There's something fundamentally dishonest about that. Rape, unfortunately, is a part of war today. It's not a strong testament to the human race, but I don't think we should pretend that it doesn't exist. I want to portray struggle. Drama comes out of conflict.
Wait. He calls rape a crime of war?
Is a part of war. Is a part of war today. Yes.
Yeah, it's always been a part of war. That's true. Let's.
Yeah.
True, but irrelevant.
Yeah, I think that he's basically trying to justify it by utilizing Martin's quotes and trying to liken them to Martin, which is really
first
stupid.
of all, as long as there has been conflict, there has always been rape and conflict.
Yeah.
Slaves taken by the warriors, to the victor goes to spoils and whatnot. It's your food, your women, and everything else.
Yeah. Vikings had thralls that they used for both work, and I imagine they probably used them as sex slaves.
They had concubines. They definitely had concubines.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Drama comes out of conflict. If you portray utopia, you probably wrote a boring book. And that is the end of that chapter.
Oh,
And
thank
that is
God.
the end of our day here.
So it ends with a straw man.
Ugh, I hate this damn book so much.
Yeah. And you haven't even seen the dang show.
I don't need to see the show. I saw
feel
maybe 5 minutes of the opening of season 2 and went, nope.
Yeah, look at us. We like feminism, therefore we can't have done a wrong thing. I want my cliff. I'm
pretty sure
I know
about
this is a crazy and radical idea, but maybe, just maybe, women just have to. Yeah, that's true. There are
ultimate society.
True. There are.
Why? Okay, then the question comes: why aren't there a whole lot of female guardsmen? Why aren't there a whole lot of women in construction? Why aren't there a whole lot of electricians?
Why aren't there a whole lot of women in overnight maintenance at fucking Walmart?
Yeah,
there are actually a lot of my coworkers at night are women. It's like almost like
I did that.
30%.
I'm talking about overnight maintenance. There's not a whole lot of them. They don't stick around.
I get a lot of overnight
no,
stock
I
in.
actually did do that.
From my own store, they all quit.
Oh man!
As soon as they see a shitty toilet,
well, as you all know, experiences may differ based on place to place.
Yeah. Well, from my own experience, that's what I'm talking about.
Do you really want us to go back to framing monsters?
I mean, think about the memes we could harvest from that.
Maybe?
The fuck is framing monsters?
I guess we could do that. It is one of the worst. It is worse than this.
Yes, it is much worse.
Yeah. To clarify, the author is is pretty much a skinhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a skinhead. Pretty much everything he is writing seems like something a skinhead would write.
And surprisingly, he's a leftist. Well, not surprisingly.
Yeah, he's saying that King Kong
represents
represents black propaganda of the era. That King Kong is analogous to black rapists wanting the white women.
We had memes about this, but that's not all. It would be just that bad if this book wasn't a nightmare to listen to and, for Dunn's case, read through. Because it's purple prose, and it's nothing but tangents.
It's nothing else.
And it's nothing but
It might as well be called Purple Prose the book.
it's just full of tangent history lessons. And he's an English teacher.
Yeah,
Supposedly.
the current one we're on is Monsters of the Middle East and Sinbad, and we still have like 15 pages left, about 13 pages left. And then the next one is Jurassic Park and Aliens. And how let me see, where is that lovely quote? The misogyny of the final scene of Aliens is often analyzed on a pseudo-sexual level as the refusal of the monstrous feminine, of the archaic devouring mother, but it also has a historically specific political meaning. If Ellen Ripley, the hero, is the prototypical upper-class wasp woman, the alien queen bears a suspicious resemblance to a favorite scapegoat of the Reagan-Bush era, the black welfare mother, that parasite on the economy whose uncurbed reproductive drive reduced hard-paying taxpayers to bankruptcy.
I don't think we need to say any more about that. I think that's self-evident.
Are you? Yeah. No, we are not. No, we're not kidding. No, we're not kidding.
Okay. Crix 9. There's this entire stream series that we've had. We gotta put in a playlist. I think it is already in a playlist.
I think so. Yeah. Just watch through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's essentially the horseshoe philosophy regarding political alignment. There's the horseshoe, there's the center, and then there's the left and the right. But there are cases where you could go so far right that you jump off and turn left, and there are cases where you could go so far left that you jump off and turn right.
Yeah. Honestly, this book has some of the most racist things I have ever read. And like outside of like actual hate speech. I honestly think that hate speech is actually like less awful than this.
It's unintentional hate speech.
And that's where we got Black Slayer from.
Yeah.
So, it's like you have to choose. Would you rather read Mein Kampf or would you read this?
So the next 2 chapters that we'll cover next week are Playing Dead, in reference to Jon Snow's storyline in season 5, and The Pack Survives as we start off with season 6.
Oh boy.
Great. Well, that's all we have for today, folks. We are all thoroughly exhausted from the last 3 hours. Thank you all for coming. I very much appreciate my guests, Champion, Wise Wolf, Ulf, Count Valerian, Agent Yokai, the White Dragon.
Fuck that kid. He's retarded.
Oh, what was that? What was that when he was laughing?
At least most races acknowledge the other races are human instead of jumping to this movie monster represents the knee. Yeah.
I'm looking at what Space Junk said.
Yeah. Oh, the
Oh, we could totally do it.
Rating.
I mean, both are incredibly both are hate speech, but one's intentional.
You don't
it's
know.
Like I have no. It's like I come on the stream and I find out like 2 different shows that are retarded.
Yeah.
Like I'm on here.
Yeah. I'm. Yeah. Sorry, Wolvie. Hi guys. I guess.
And Meg Brown, you came in way at the tail end. You came in so late.
Yeah. Well, we will call it good there and just say